Hello, once again. My name is Gilbert Chavez at the Lowrider Podcast by Streetlow Magazine. Today we have two special guests with us. It's a little different. It's not different. It's about car clubs for sure. It's a car club called Aztec Legacy. We're going to ask them some questions just in case a lot of people out there would ever want to start a car club or be part of the car club or be part of their car club. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jose El Padrino Urquizo, originally from Slinas, California. And
I'm Carmen Barragan. I'm also from Salinas, California.
Right on. And Carmen, you're the
co-founder.
Jose, you're the founder.
correct.
So you're basically the president and vice president.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, right on. So my thing is, first of all, how did the car club start?
Do you want to?
It was your idea.
So we had an idea.
Right, it was your idea.
We had a vision.
Right.
And we wanted to do. We've always, since we're younger,
Right,
we wanted
right.
to do something like this. And obviously, back in the days,
Right.
like you said, we took our parents' cars, right?
Right.
And so we had a vision. Now that we're older, that we wanted to do something with lowriding, because that's what we were in when we were younger. And now we're able to afford it. It's an expensive hobby, but also at the same time create something that included the community. And so Carmen is very active within the community, the schools and stuff like that. So she agreed that it was a great idea. So we kind of both decided.
So you guys were together before the car club thing? Or?
Oh, yeah. We had been...
Well, you saw him with his car, and you're like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I was like, look at that hot guy.
Look at that hot guy. I need that car. I need
and the car's hot, too.
It was a truck.
Right. So it was a truck. So my thing is, what inspired you to want to start a car club? I mean, I know being into lowriding is one thing, because it's a passion that we have as we're younger. But to create a car club is something. It's very. It takes a lot. It's like a job, believe it or not. Having a car club is being in a gang, or having a religious belief with something. But what inspired you to want to start a car club? Like, did you see another car club, say, oh man, I could do that, but maybe I could do it better, or maybe I want to, or you were part of a club at one time, or just.
To be honest with you, it was for me, and I'll let her speak for her. But for me, it was always the love for the culture, the love for the classic cars. And not being able to have it when I was younger. But with that, as an adult, it was a way for me to, because I'm a professional, I have my job, and I can do stuff with my company.
Right.
But this was, for me, the easiest way to give back to my community and to get the community involved. And so...
And a passion
It
for
was
yourself.
a passion, yeah. And so the love for the cars and being able to get back to the community.
Right.
Having it both at the same time worked perfect for me. But more importantly, having Carmen's support, because I told her, without you, I can't do this.
Right.
And she's really the backbone of what we do.
Right.
Her and our current president, Ozzy, phenomenal guy. And but with her,
well, you have a lot of history with it too, right?
Yeah, we go way back. So.
Back in the days too. So you guys saw all that growing up as well.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, at a young age.
Oh, we go back to when we were like 5 or 6 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Playing with Hot Wheels. Right.
No, but
That's how long we've known each other.
Yeah.
Right. That's what's up. Yeah.
I still remember sitting on East Alisal at my uncle's house every Sunday and watching the lowriders go by before they banned cruising. And I loved watching the cars. And after they banned it, I remember, because we grew up in a low-income housing project called San Gerardo. And so some of those cars would come over there. I mean, there were no cops in that area at the time. And so we'd see some of the cars just come by just because they wanted to maybe cruise around in a place where they weren't going to get pulled over. Right. So we'd sit outside sometimes and watch some of the cars come by. And I've always loved them, but it never crossed my mind that anything like this would happen. So when he came up with the idea and he said to me, I need this to work, but it's only going to work if you're part of it. I was like, well, it better be 50-50. And you got to hear my end of it too. I said, there's so much we could do with something like this. We could have, make a difference in the community. We could do scholarships. I mean, I'm a teacher, so I'm all into, education. And I go, wow, we can go so many ways with this. So he's more like, the cars, right? He was more into that part, and me, I was into let's show some cultura, let's make some,
Right
and let's use this to motivate kids. Let's motivate people to do well and change the whole
concept.
I don't know. There's that reputation. Sometimes people think. I know my parents grew up thinking like, oh, that's Cholo thing is bad and it's all gang related and drugs and dangerous.
But it's not, right?
No, not at all.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, let's change that reputation. Let's turn it into something positive, and let's show that we can, do something with it that's going to make a difference in our community for the.
Well, that's cool. You being a teacher and being a lawyer. Like we tell a lot of people. There's lawyers out there, teachers out there, cops out there that are actual lowriders.
I'm a former cop, former vice president of all the major banks.
Right.
Now I'm the sales manager for Allstate,
Allstate
Insurance. And so, so it's a way for us to be able to get both things together and give back to our community.
Right. But also social community, like you get your friends together, you get people that share the same passion in lowriding. You see, and that's the beauty of lowriding, man. And since I've been young and was really into it myself, I've always felt that togetherness. Once you meet somebody that's into lowriding, you become friends forever, unless you're an asshole. But other than that, I mean, because there are some people out there that just take it. There's always a rotten apple in every group, but for those that aren't, I mean, they last forever, because I got friends, I've been with friends forever, and, I'm pretty sure we're going to be friends forever again. Because to me, lowriding to me, I got a big passion for it.
It's kind of like being part of a family now, right?
For sure.
And so for us, we have actually one member that's a whole family. Yeah. The mom, the dad, the son have cars.
Yeah.
And they're about a little bit younger than us. But that's our vision. Our vision and mission is two things: is family and community.
But their family's too big. They're like, we don't want other members in the club, right? That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So what's up? Hell yeah. So how do you guys pick your members? Like, we were talking earlier about it. I mean, what is it you guys see? Because like I said, there's clubs out there that get together as friends, and they say, we can start a car club. It's 5 of us. And then from that 5, other people look into their circle like, wow, they're doing something cool. I like what they're doing. And one thing I do like what you guys do is you do a scholarship. And for being a young club, because Aztec Legacy still, you guys look like an older club, just with the name and the passion you guys have with what you're doing. It's a good thing to see that. But what is it that you guys actually look for? I mean, when they come up to you guys, hey, we want to be part of your club, or do you guys actually pick a person? I know you were talking to me about friends and stuff, but
well, we're still, when you look at the lowrider community and the clubs that have been around for a while, we're still in our infant stage, right? And so we try to pick up things from other clubs, but we also at the same time want to be different, right? And so one of the main things and it's a learning curve all the time, right? We're learning something. Matter of fact, this weekend in Rosarito, we brought it up and we were talking about, we're brainstorming about different ideas that we can do to better the club. Right. And one of the things that we look for, again, is the family, the culture, right? Having that culture, family environment. And so we actually, the newer members, the newer prospects, Ozzy, our current president, and I took a couple of them out, and just to get to know them, like kind of like an interview, if you will. Right. And what makes you pick our club? Because we're not promoting our club in the sense that we're recruiting people, right? So we got to the point where we said we don't want to recruit anybody, and if somebody wants to join, let's find out why, right? And so the main reason that anybody wants to join our club right now. And even if you ask the current members, their main thing was we like the family environment that you guys promote. And when you guys go out to the shows, you guys look like you guys having a bunch of fun. And we do. We have a lot of fun. And
that's what it's about.
But more importantly, we encourage them to go out and network and meet other club members from other clubs. Right. To see, if you never know
who we could steal.
No.
Never.
Definitely.
I just play you guys.
Definitely not going to do that.
I just play you guys.
But
more, had to throw that one in there.
but so that they can compare maybe what we're doing to what they're doing, and maybe brainstorm with other ideas that you can throw out there.
Well, I mean, you guys getting together, going out to a show, it is showcasing.
Yeah.
Because you're showing them that here's a club coming together, meeting together, going somewhere together, and because that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen is when a car club comes together. Not like, hey, I got 2, my other 6 are going to come, and after the other 6, the other 8 are going to come. Then it looks kind of like, well, okay. I mean, it's still cool, but it's
we
not
like to roll together.
Oh, when you guys roll together and all the plaques are together, it looks good. It looks really, really good.
And then everybody's sporting their jacket and stuff like that. It looks good. And and then what we do is usually we hang out. We'll come in. Everybody brings food at our tent, and then we hang out for a little bit, and then everybody disperses. Yeah. Right, and mingles and whatever. Yeah, a few hours later, everybody comes back and we kick it for a little bit again. So it's cool.
Every club has cars, right? So you're going to go somewhere, you're going to see cars everywhere. But what makes us different is how we get along with each other, and that's we are really a family. We all look after each other. If we're driving somewhere and something happens, we all pull over for that one person. We're checking up. Did you all make it home okay after the event? Does anyone need anything? Who can't make it? What do you need? How can we help you? It's a family. And you could tell that everybody's happy. I mean, you can go around and look at people's faces, and you get that, you get that feel, right? And so we get people coming to us, and it's not because you got the best cars, because there's beautiful cars out there, way nicer than what we got. But
to me, it's always, like I said, it's always been about the person more than the car. Yeah. And another good thing that you guys do is the scholarship thing, like you said. So now I know where the scholarship comes in because of the teacher here.
And she does all the brainstorming behind it, all the reading the applications, and she knows about
the organization.
FAFSA, all that stuff.
Yeah, because I went through the whole system, right? I went to Cal Poly. I got my degree in architectural engineering. Nice. I was like, I want to teach because I want to be with the youth and taught Upward Bound, and now I'm working with community schools, so all the kids that get expelled, and I'm trying to make a difference, right? I'm trying to do something, and I'm like, okay, let's do this scholarship, and you get plus points if you know someone in a car club, right?
So you haven't showed up to your school in the Lowrider yet, have you?
Not yet.
She's shown them the pictures though, they love it.
My students have. Honestly, one time one of my students came over and he's like, "Oh, you got pictures of your car?" I'm like, "Yeah, check it out." And like, "That's your car?" No way. My friend saw that car at a car show, and he look, let me show you. And they had a picture of my car, and I'm like, "That's my car." I go, well, anytime you want, you come over. You guys are welcome to sit in my car. He's like, "No way." So
the respect is different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they love it.
Different. It's not it's not that teacher that's all uptight, right? Now you got the cool teacher that rolls. No, but I'm saying how students look at their teachers all uptight. Yeah. Here comes the cool teacher.
She's cool teacher.
Yeah, he has the Lowrider.
She shows up in the Lowrider. Teaching some style.
I love my students, and they know it. So we get along really well.
But guess who's coming to the show? Your show. Two of our teachers.
Oh, really?
They're coming to your show.
Well, you know what's cool about our events? We have we get a lot of city people, a lot of county people. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are in the city and the county. They got big, they're in big places. Cops as well. Yeah. Some detectives that I know. They're out there, and they're lowriders. Yeah, and they don't care. They're like our work's at work. We're out here. We don't care what anybody's doing. We're just us, unless there's a real crime. Yeah. But other than that, but anybody would jump on a crime, right? But as far as them going out to have fun, that's what they want to do, and that's a cool thing because years ago, they put a Martin Luther King Library in downtown San Jose at the University of San Jose. They were when they were actually rebuilding the library, they were redoing the floors. So one of the floors they wanted to do like all Latino, like an actual Latino floor. They had an Asian floor, they had like different diversity of floors. And in one of the floors, they had all these students from New York kind of like brainstorm for us. Can you imagine that? People from out there brainstorming for us, and what represented the cultura of Mexicans and Chicanos and Latinos, and right away like lowriders, and they start brainstorming all kinds of stuff. And one of the professors came to me. He was an Asian professor. Came to our office in downtown. We were in downtown San Jose, and he had asked me. He goes, "Can you help me we want to create these tables that represent the culture, because we want to have these chandeliers, I don't know what they call it, with the grapes on them for Cesar Chavez. They want to do all kinds of cool stuff." I said, "All right, cool." So then he started using a mock-up of ours. but he grabbed a girl, which was probably the bad thing he shouldn't have done. He grabbed one of our magazines and he puts one of the girls holding an actual, like we're looking for artwork for Streetlow, and after that it was just we went from meetings to meetings to meetings that they don't want lowriders in there because it represented something different, and so I had to go to all these meetings, and I sat there and I said, and I was the only one representing that. Nobody else was there.
Wow.
I was the only one representing the lowriding industry or the lowrider community at those meetings, and I had asked. I had talked to Cindy Chavez at the time because she was the one that was running the thing, the whole committee thing, and we had a meeting one day, and I was just hearing everybody talking shit about lowriding. Oh, well, even the young kids that were in Mecha, they're like, oh, I can't, I don't want to go to the library and see a lowrider represent my culture. I'm like, what the hell am I hearing? And I was just hearing this girl like almost crying, And after the meeting, I said, anybody wants to talk? I go, well, can I talk now? I heard everybody talk. I go, first of all, she should be an actress. You're a good actress, man, because if you're crying because lowriding represents the culture, I go, well, guess what? It does. And I'm going to tell you, before you write a book and put it out there, I could drive by with my car and we'll see the kids see what attracts them more, your book or this car full of books. Mm-hmm. I go, I guarantee I'll get these kids to jump in that car and read a book, then you show them a book that's all colorful. Trust me, I go, the bad part of what you guys are doing is that you're not giving this culture a chance. I go, it has changed. Yeah. It's not the same. It's not these gangbangers that you think. And I go, and lowriding wasn't really about gangbanging. Yeah. It just gangbangers,
made it about it. Yeah.
Gravitate to it. They like it. Yeah. It's like they like Ben Davis. Doesn't mean Ben Davis clothing should be banned because it's gangbanging. Yeah. No, it's just they gravitate to different things. And I said, and that was the bad thing about it. So it was a trick because then this older lady started crying, like she must have been in her 70s. And she was one of the I don't know, she belonged to the committee there. I don't know who she was, but she started crying and she looks at me and she goes, can I hug you? And I'm like, yeah. She came and hugged me. She goes, what you say is so true. Because I sat there and I said, because I had told everybody, I go, we're sitting in this room and we're all Chicanos, Latinos. I don't know what part of Latin you guys came from, but I'm gonna tell you, I guarantee you, each and every one of you in here have been in a lowrider, know a lowrider, or related to a lowrider. Mm. I go, every one of you. I don't care who you are. As long as you have a Spanish last name, I guarantee you somebody in your family owns a lowrider. Mm. And that's when she started crying. And she says, my cousin got killed years ago. And when I was a little girl, and I mean, she was maybe in her 70s.
Wow.
I was a little girl. I used to jump in his car as a little girl, and he was a good person. He wasn't bad. He wasn't the gangbang. But he got killed. I go, so now you see what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I said, so you're going to sit there, and you're already going to pull the trigger on me without even knowing who we are. Mm-hmm. And after all that, we sat there, and they if you go into the library, they have a actual library table. It's the back end of a truck. Wow. With handlebars, a lowrider bike made into. So nice. That was given to us because of that. Just talking to him. But I was one of the first ones that, my name is even on there. I'm not even talked about in that damn thing, but it's a trip. I was the one that was in there doing it for everybody. Yeah, nobody was there for me, man. But, but it's a good thing to see now the new generation. Because of the whole internet now, it's kind of insane now. So everybody can see what's going on, but to get more people that have been part of teaching, of law enforcement, and and being gravitated to this lifestyle is kind of cool, and using it now.
Yeah, and definitely
to promote.
And going back to what you were talking about, that the stigma of it's a gang or whatever. Right. It's amazing how, at least in Slinas, and I'm sure here too, but in Slinas, all the car clubs just support each other,
right?
And in the sense that there might have been some negative stuff with one club and another, but when you're out in the show, everybody shows respect and with everybody's club, and so everybody comes together and supports each other. And that's what I've seen.
I've been doing shows there for 24 years.
Yeah.
in Salinas at the sports complex. First time I started doing the shows there, I was 26 years old, 27. And I'm going to tell you, man, it was tough. Them cops out there were tough. And it got to a point where I was spending crazy money just to have the show. But I didn't care because I wanted to show them that it wasn't us. Yeah. You know, we were an actual car. I think we even had a meeting at a school one time. And I sat there, but the police officer that was there at the time, I forgot who he was. He was an older gray hair police officer, the chief of police.
Oh, it was Ortega.
Ortega. Not the other one. Not the guy that had the hair, the nice hair, right?
No. It was probably Ortega back then.
The older guy.
Yeah,
so he sat there and he kind of like, okay, no problem. We're gonna, because they were trying to like kick us out. They didn't want lowriders there no more. But I was like, well, we're not doing anything, you know. So when they had a meeting, I thought they were gonna talk negative. I was ready there to, you know, talk shit back, but nothing. When it came to me, like, well, what do you want to say? I'm like, well, nothing. He said everything. Well, I can't. He's giving us a chance. I'm like that. I mean, I was here to defend.
To get a chance, right?
To get a chance, but he's giving it to us, so there's nothing for me to say anymore. But then the other cop came in.
Yeah.
The Mr. Hair guy. What's his name? What's that?
I don't know, but I don't want to mention any names.
Well, when he came in, that's when he started sticking us hard, and we were paying up to $18,000 for police.
Wow. You had to pay for their salary, yeah.
Yep, we had to pay for them, for the horses, those to block the streets. Yeah. And he goes, you know, you're causing all these problems out here, this cruising, that's you. I said, but you know, the shops up and down the street, they're making money. The gas stations are making money. We're bringing money to Salinas, you know. But they didn't care. And it was funny, every time I went to the city, they would look at me and say, $18,000. I'm like, yeah, 18,000. Like, for what? You tell them. Yeah, I got like the whole force in here. Yeah. You know, and so it was I know how the difference how Salinas was at one time, but now what I've seen the difference is that there is a lot more car clubs out there.
No, but you should see the support we get from the city and the police officers.
Oh yeah,
and the police officers now. They come to, you know, we attend our meetings.
Because they're probably the ones going to our car shows when they're young. And they probably understand there is nothing
There's
wrong
a couple of sergeants, actually, that have lowriders in the city of Salinas right now, the police officers. Right. And they show support. I've been to the meetings, and they actually know that it's not us, right? That they're after the younger kids that are racing on the streets.
The juvenile kids.
Doing the drifting and all that stuff. But they support us. They see us on, you know. We don't even wear seatbelts. Some of the cars, you know, don't have any seatbelts. So they see us, they wave at us when we go by cruising, or even if you're just out for a stroll on a Sunday afternoon.
It's because we're those old hot rod guys now. we're going to start meeting up at McDonald's for coffee and stuff, at Denny's, you know. Yeah. But that's what's cool, man.
But the culture's changed there from everybody, starting from the city and the support we get from the city.
Yeah.
Right.
So right.
It's good, and everybody else around the city with the clubs and stuff like that.
So right here it says you guys started in October of 2020.
Well, we started talking about it back then,
during the pandemic.
Didn't really. Yeah, well, that's why we were talking. There was nothing else to. No,
because March last 2020 was our last car show we did in Salinas, and after that we stood home.
Well, that's when our idea was brewing, right? Okay. Her and I saying, you know, this is what I want to do. What do you think? We didn't actually establish the club till December of 2022.
2022.
And I got to throw out a shout out to my 6 original members, which is Lino Morales, Ernie Fuentes, obviously Carmen, Israel Haro, and Ozzy Sarceno, he's our current president right now. Has been for the last 2 years.
So you guys all started at the same time?
They are the official ones that told me, yes, we believe in your vision and we want to be a part of it. Right. And so that's when we established the club.
So in reality, they're called founders as well.
Yeah. So we call them original members.
So they're the founders. You have to. So this is one thing I found out. When somebody starts with you, at the same time it all starts, they become founders.
Yeah. Correct.
They are founders.
You guys are the creators.
Yes, sir.
There's a difference between a creator and a founder.
Yeah.
The creator is the person that has the vision, that created something. Yeah. But the guy, because you got to give him more, you know, give him a bigger, how can you say, you got to give them that title so they can feel more because this is part of them too.
Correct.
Now.
It is.
You know,
It is.
you know, it's part of it's you guys and it's them. It's like they're your kids.
And just for the record, we never say we're the founders. We get introduced like that by other members, but we all are the reason why we're what we're doing now, right? And we give everybody credit. Without them, we couldn't be doing what we're doing.
But these are your founding
Correct.
members.
Correct. Correct.
The founding
They're the
members.
founding members.
Correct. And so I want to make sure I throw a shout out to them because
for sure.
because of them where we're at right now. So
Right on. No, for sure.
but yeah, so that's
So
where
in December of 2022, that's when you guys
established the club basically.
and got together and did, what was
Had the
your first?
Plaques,
What was your first show?
The first show I think was you.
Streetlow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, because
It was the first
it,
one.
was you. It was our
We
first
popped
show.
you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay,
right.
That's nice.
That's right. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you were our godfather of.
There you go.
of
There
the
you
club.
go.
So actually, it was you our first show, and then I think after that we did the new arrivals, and then Tavares.
Tavares. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
That's
what's up.
yeah.
Now,
That's where we debuted her car the first time.
I was gonna say we
yeah.
rushed the guy just so we could have it for your show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
so-
Yeah, there you go. Now you're gonna do it again.
Now we're gonna do it again. Yeah.
Right on. Yep. March 9th. Hopefully
now.
it doesn't rain. Please, God, don't rain.
Yeah.
Don't rain
I hope not.
Yeah, it's been looking good, but it looks bad. But then it looks good, and but it's been as long as it rains during the week and the weekend. Just give us the weekends.
Exactly.
Just this one year.
Take the week, but give us the weekend.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So then you guys do a car show in Salinas.
We did our first car show last year in September, which is Hispanic Heritage Day,
Okay.
and it's at Northridge Mall. We were blessed to.
I had heard about it. Somebody was telling me about it
Yeah.
because I know there's, like I said, I don't really go out as much.
Yeah.
You know, he's always telling me, you got to come out. You got to come out. I just been kind of like, you know, soaking things in. I take my daughter to school every day and drop her off, go back and forth. This is her last year.
Yeah,
So once this year is done, I'm back to
100%.
100% running around again.
Nice.
So, but definitely. So last year was your first one.
It was our first one. It was I'd like to think it was a success. I mean,
It was.
Well, yeah, you said 100 and some cars.
Yeah,
That was-
close. It was 170, I think, around there, 175, and made enough to give out a lot of scholarships this year.
Nice.
And so, go ahead.
We went from the first year we gave out one $1,000 scholarship. This was in 2020.
We only had one applicant. It was funny.
2023. We had that one applicant, like nobody heard about us. We're like, what's going on? But we're like, well, we have $1,000.
Right,
We were going to do two $500 scholarships, but we gave him the full 1,000.
Nice.
Next year after that, we did four $500 scholarships. They all went to students at LSL High School. We showed up at their school at their assembly, and we gave them their scholarship.
Right on.
And we're doubling it this year. We're giving 8 $500 scholarships. So
But share how many applicants we had from
And
one year to
it
the
went
next.
so it went from one applicant that first year to we had, I'm going to say, about 16 the next year. Right now our application process is open. We have already 26 applicants, and we still have a couple months before we even close it.
Wow,
And we're getting
wow.
applicants now. We opened it to not just one high school, but all of the Salinas high schools, and then we're including North Monterey County and Castroville.
in Castro.
So where do they got to go to?
Our website.
Yeah,
Website?
we have a website, but we also have it's been
Instagram.
published in Instagram, and so they just have that. You know, they have to take a picture of that little square.
QR code?
Yeah, the QR
Yeah.
code.
Okay.
So if they
Maybe
go,
you send it to us and we'll put it on the
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
that'd
We're
be
talking
great.
about it. Okay.
and then they can follow us on Instagram at Aztec Legacy
Aztec
Car Club.
Legacy. Okay.
Aztec Legacy Car Club
Right on.
in Salinas. And so we have it there on Facebook and our website. We have a website that's still in the works, and it's Aztec Legacy Car Club
Right on.
.com. Yeah.
Right.
Right on.
So
So you got how many members now?
18
active.
active members.
Active.
And then around 5 prospects right now.
And how many women?
Like
with cars.
4 or 5. We have Angie
Angie, Lily, me.
and
We have-
Adrian's going to get her car. She's there. We have mostly the spouses are getting cars, but they're in the works. They're getting their cars fixed. We encourage women to join our club. We're a co-ed car club,
That's what's up,
and
man.
I like to think that we actually changed that culture in Salinas.
Right.
We are, I think, the first co-ed car club in Salinas,
Right on. Right
and
on.
and we had to. I mean, she wouldn't do it without that. So
Right. Right. Or you couldn't have a car club at all.
It's got to work.
No, that's cool.
But
That's
no,
cool.
she's definitely an intricate part of why we're doing what we're doing,
Right.
and the change in culture,
Right.
getting women involved in the lowriding community as far as joint with the spouses and stuff.
Well, there's a George, Crazy George from Viejitos. Him and his wife. She has an old school bomb too.
That's cool.
His is called El Padrino. His is called La Padrina.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen her. I've seen that George's,
but yeah, she has a nice one. She has a little coupe in it.
That's cool.
And she dresses like she puts up a little stand and she puts a pachuca, and it's pretty dope, man.
Nice.
That's pretty dope. They went to our show up in Idaho, and they dressed it up like that, and she took like one of the top prizes out there.
Cool.
It's pretty dope, man. But that's cool to see that, so you understand what kind of like guys go through, because I know a lot of women aren't. When you're part of the car club, a lot of girls are just become the accessory.
Like the tag
Right.
along, right? Like, kind of like a tag along.
You become the accessory of the car, but instead of being part of
Correct.
the car and part of the club, and and you get more involved, because one of our girls too. She's actually the president of a car club. She actually joined the car club and she became the president of the car club.
That's cool.
So and she helps us with the registration at the car shows.
Nice.
So so she runs the club with a bunch of guys.
That's cool.
That's good.
So.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I would guess you guys are more.
Like for us, is like the family orientation, right?
Right.
And so the wives want to get their cars, but not just the wives, because when they bring the kids, and some of them are teenagers and they want their cars. Right. The kids have their bikes. We have kids that have lowrider bikes, that are prepping them, and they're excited about they want a plaque for their bike, So we're like, yeah, get your bike ready and we'll get you a plaque,
Right.
And that way you can represent as well. And even some of the guys have a bike, they'll bring a bike and stuff and dress it up and have participate.
Well, and we've had instances where we want the cars to show up for the show, but so and so is going to be working. So guess who shows up with a car? The spouse shows up and she's like, "I'm ready to go. Let's go!" Right? And so if he can't make it, I'm bringing the car, and that's how it works. But as we're representing, and it's equal. And you're busy, I'm not. I'm taking it.
Right.
So we're going to be part of that. Right.
And even at your show last year, we had a couple of the members that weren't going to show up because their kids were playing softball. Right. Lucky for us, their kids were playing softball next door.
Oh, shit.
And so they dropped off the car and they went over there. So they were able to kill two birds with one stone.
That's what's up.
But they wanted to represent at the show, But at the same time, be there for their kids.
Right on.
They finish the show, their kids come over and, they get to hang out and stuff. So,
have you guys came out to our San Jose show?
No, we just recently got an invite. Ozzy was here.
There was a cruising, I think, Monterey Highway.
And so our president was out here, and he was, commingling and talking to networking, and he actually was sporting our jacket, and he got an invite, for our show. I mean, our club to come out and hang out. I got one of our guys that does our sponsor of our Plaques. He's from Fremont, and he's always inviting me to the shows, local shows out here.
Right. Yeah. No, it's good to come out here because I know some clubs stay out there and they just stay out there. They don't want to kind of, and then like some clubs here don't want to go out there, or go all the way to Sacramento or all the way to Modesto or.
We don't want to go. First, we got to make sure the car makes it, right?
Right. And see who has time to go.
Or who has
there,
trailers and stuff like that, and who has like you said, time to go out there and stuff like that. But I like to come out here.
We're talking about coming to, is it King of the Streets?
King of the Streets.
King of the Streets.
King of the Streets.
We got invited for that.
That would be our first one that a lot of us are going, all right, let's do this. Let's go check out San Jose. Let's bring the cars over.
And then we got invited to that bomb one, the bombs, and I think it's in Fremont.
Fremont.
In Fremont. I think that was in Fremont.
Ours is the first one of the year. Here is June 22nd at the Santa Clara.
Is that the bombitas?
No, we have everything.
Yeah.
If you've never been to Santa,
no.
Yeah. So it's
it sounds to me like you're inviting us, right?
Yes. It's like Salinas on steroids.
Nice.
Cool.
So we have car hopping. We have a big stage. Sometimes, we had Los Tucanes de Tijuana. Yeah. We've had Ramon Ayala. Yeah. I'm trying to get another big banda there today. This year. I'm the one that started bringing bandas to the car shows now.
Everybody likes them.
Then I started seeing a lot of other, right, and Los Tucanes. Those are off the
Los
hook.
Tucanes, los Cadetes, you know.
Those guys, I mean, what's cool is we started it because we didn't know if it was going to work. Yeah. And then when we worked, we're like, shoot, everybody, you know. But yeah, because I figured, you know, that's the kind of music we listened to as little kids. Our parents did.
That's right.
So, you know, so when we brought in Ramon Ayala, I brought in like so many different generations. And then it was funny because I'd get guys going, hey, you know, man, I don't know, bro, but, you know, them tickets, you know, I go, well, I mean, you know, it's one in the car. He goes, nah, but you don't understand. It's me, that one, and the other one, and the other one, and the other one, and the other one. I go, what do you mean? He goes, my parents, my uncles, they all want to come. He goes, what can we do? And I saw, you know, kind of give you know, the car guys, you guys get a deal, you know, all the time. Yeah. But it was funny as hell because they were like, how the hell, you know, you did something that nobody's done that made everybody want to come out.
And that's a great idea. I mean, because it goes hand in hand with our culture, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can't tell me you didn't listen to Javier Solís, Jose Alfredo Jimenez. And, you know, with your parents listening to them.
Never. It was all high energy. Little Susie and all that.
Back in the 90s. Right. I mean,
No,
she asked me the other day, she goes, how did you start getting into this music? Because all I listen to is, you know, music from Javier Solís, Jose Alfredo Jimenez, Vicente Fernandez. You know, and
I went all the way back from
Ayala.
Pedro Infante.
Yeah, Pedro Infante.
Because my grandfather used to sing that. My grandfather used to make us watch the cartoons of Cantinflas.
Cantinflas, yeah.
We used to sit down and watch Cantinflas, the cartoons, and it was funny because they were educational.
Exactly.
Like Cantinflas, he was all about kids, but you didn't know it. His comedy was so clean and so old school. And I always tell everybody, I go, you know, all these kids around here all sagging their pants. They don't know where that came from. Came from Cantinflas. He was the first one sagging his pants.
And Charlie Chaplin.
Right. Well, not even him.
No, it was more Cantinflas.
Because even, I think, I want to say, do you ever watch that movie with Charlie Chaplin and Cantinflas?
Yeah.
It was a Cantinflas one.
Yeah. He saw it.
They kept trying to get him to do a movie here in the United States, and he wouldn't do it. Yeah. He always, no, was it that way? No.
I think it was.
Was it? Yeah, and the only one that could talk to him was Charlie Chaplin. That was able to talk to Cantinflas because he would go into character.
Exactly.
You could never talk to him normally because he wouldn't talk to you. He was like, don't talk to me that way. If you're going to talk business, you got to talk to this person.
You got to talk to Cantinflas. Right?
Yeah, so he was
not Mario Moreno.
Right, so he was two different types of people. But the only one that got him to do it was Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
But he even said that throughout the world at that time, he was considered the best comedian actor in the world. And during the time, the 30s and 40s and 50s, I don't know if you knew or not, but the United States and Mexico were always in competition for filming. And because Mexicans were so good at filming, and back then you had to cut, paste, and Americans wasted a lot of money. They were cut. Mexicans always had it, or the Mexican theater always had it in one take. They were so good at it, one take. And discipline too. We're poor motherfuckers. We ain't got that much money, you know. So we got to do it.
It's a budget film,
right? So you want to have a
shot.
Yeah. So they always got it in one shot. Yeah. That's why a lot of them actresses came this way and changed their names.
Hollywood and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So it's but growing up with all that music was you know, that's what made me kind of change the show. I was like, you know, I got to do a show with this type of music.
And you hit it right on the nail. By doing that.
But it was funny because my wife's from Tijuana, and all her friends, she hangs out with all her friends. And one day they were telling me, we're sitting around the table, and they were like, you know, we all got money. I go, I know we do. She goes, yeah, we always do this for the cholos and hip hop. What about, you know, Mexicans, man? He goes, we have money underneath our mattresses. We have money. I'm like, okay. So I was able to land a deal with Ramon Ayala. It just definitely turned the shows around. Yeah. And like I said, this year I'm going to add another. I didn't do it last year or the year before, but this year I'm going to do it. Now that I have my June 22nd show, the date June 22nd, which is the first show of the year here in San Jose.
Nice.
And the first show is always just.
So we'll be your guest of honor.
We'll
roll in 20 cars. How's that?
There you go. Yeah.
That's cool.
But you'll see, usually we get about, during those events, we get about anywhere from 600 to 800 cars.
Wow.
I know when Ramon Ayala was here, we hit close to 1,000 with him, you know. And I'm trying to get a hold of him again. I know he keeps saying he's
going to
retiring,
retire. Yeah,
but I don't. You know, he was going to do a show here, and then he didn't do it.
he's on his retirement tour, isn't he? Right now?
Again. Well, last year it was one, and now this year's again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if there's any way I could get him to do his retirement show.
Yeah.
If you're listening, to do it here at the Streetlow Car Show because he loved it. He's a car guy too.
Yeah.
He's big times into bombs and stuff. He has old school Pontiacs and stuff.
Yeah.
I stood there talking to him for about an hour about cars, and that was his love. He loves old cars, and when he seen when he drove in his bus and he seen all the old cars, he was like, "Whoa!" Yeah. He loved it. He's like, "Man," he goes, "Look at all them cars."
He's like the Mexican Jay Leno, right?
Right. No, serious. I mean, I think he wished he could take a walk, but he got bombarded.
They'll be bombarded. Yeah.
He was bombarded, so but it was cool.
That's cool having him there.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, we'll probably make a trip up here, and especially if we're going to be your guest of honor. So.
Yeah. Come on down, man, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
It's my mom's birthday that day, you know.
Well, we'll take her to make sure she meets someone Ayala.
So we can do.
And we'll roll her in your car. Right?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Or in his 50 bomb. So
that works. That works.
Your mom stays out there in Salinas?
No, she lives here.
She lives with me now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You take care of your mom.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I take care of mine myself.
That's right.
Yeah.
I take care of mine.
Right?
Well, she lives on her own, but I still take care of her.
She's like...
My mom doesn't want to move in with me.
She doesn't want to be taken care of.
Yeah, she doesn't want. She wants to stay away from everybody. But I still take care of her. So
that's it. Hell yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, shoot, it's good to see a different. When I told you when I seen Aztec Legacy, I was like, "No, you guys been around for a long time." You're like, "No." I'm like,
but when we thought about the name, it's un legado Azteca, right? We go back to our ancestors and stuff like that. So to me, it's like leaving that legacy or taking on that legacy that they left us, right? Right. So it kind of went hand in hand for me. And so
for me, it was a big deal because I was a machista back in the day. I mean, I was a machista.
Oh, look at that. Oh, shit. Be careful what you say.
No. But, okay.
We got a spy in the house. So.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm waiting. When you go to her house, Mandil comes on, huh?
Oh, hell no.
It's not even like that.
I just playing.
But it's about cultura, it's about organizing, it's about doing things for la gente, right? And so and that's why on my car I've got like the Aztec images and I've got my Aztec name because I actually had a name ceremony in Xochimilco in Mexico. Okay. And so I've got the Quetzalhuitziling up on top. I've got the Aztec warrior. I got some Mayan stuff. Because for me, it's like, come and look at it and learn from it, right? So again, that educator in me going, we could also teach something through the vehicle, right? You look at the designs, ask me where they came from, what do they mean? And it's important. It's important.
He remembers your car. He remembers your car.
Because it's like a mural, a mural on wheels, right?
Well, have you guys gone to Cancun?
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
The Chichen Itza and all
that.
Oh, yeah.
Or Tulum and all that.
Right.
Beautiful out there.
Oh, yeah.
So Mexico City, too?
Yeah. That's our next trip, actually.
I've been to Mexico City.
I've been to Mexico City, the ruins.
Yeah, the ruins
Climb
of
up to the Pyramid of the Sun.
Yeah.
We got the pyramid in the hood of our car.
It was in Mexico City where I had that name ceremony with some indigenas over there. That still did the traditional like Aztec type dancing, right? Over there they have different names for it. La danza.
Yeah.
At the Zócalo, they're always dancing at the Zócalo.
Smoking, kicking it, drinking. And the guys over here are a little different. They're more strict. Have you seen the guys in the Mexico City?
I got the pipe
They don't care, man. They're all having fun.
It's medicine.
It's medicine.
It's medicine.
Right on.
Yeah. But it was important for me that it was not just the name you picked just because it sounds cool or whatever. Like there's got to be a meaning behind it. And I was like, you know what? The Azteca unites kind of it's a big umbrella.
Right.
And so even if people aren't sure what their roots are, whether you're, Tarasco or whatever, right? You at least know that if you see Azteca, it's like, it connects everybody in a way. And so people would identify with it. And so, it was important for me to have that name in there. And he came up with it, but it said Azteca. And I was like, okay, the legacy, Azteca, I'm with it. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So to me, it was about that legacy from back then,
Right.
And so combining both of them, it was a perfect match. So
right on.
Yeah, but again, couldn't have done it without her support and again, always schooling us, not just me, the club, but always schooling us and asking questions and.
No, but it's good because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. They just think, "Oh, I'm an Aztec. I'm an Aztec," but do you know what it went through? I mean, I mean, I know a little of it, but not as, because I know we had Mayans. There was all kinds of different tribes, you know, and they rode up all the way through the Americas, all the way. Yeah. So, you know, what trips me out here is, you know, they talk about American Indians, but Aztecas were American Indians too. Yeah. So what is an American Indian? And then, you know, and then Indians out here, oh, I'm going to select the Indian. I'm not Mexican. I go, wait a minute. You're from New Mexico. You're Mexican, bro. Or California. Arizona. Or Arizona, Utah, Colorado. Texas. All these areas were part of Mexico. Nevada. So how could they be Native Americans? Yeah. You know, that's where I don't know if there was a thing on TikTok where this girl got all pissed off. You like, you guys think you're better than us? You're not. You're Mexicans. Yeah. I don't care what tribe name you give yourself, or I don't care what you try to do to separate yourself out here doing the whole American thing, because that's kind of, I think, they gave each other names. I don't know if it was government names that they gave each other, or they did things. Were they the first gangs? You know what I'm saying? Like, you had different names for different gangs to kill each other, because that's what we're doing to each other.
It's interesting that you say that, because I know even within Mecha we had our disagreements, right? But with me, when we talk about being gente indígena or tracing your roots, when we say indígena, that's everybody that was here or traces their roots to this land, which is everybody. Right. So it's supposed to unite people, not separate people. Yeah, right. We think the other names are more separating, right? Versus indígena should include everybody. And if you want to call yourself Mexicano, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it's your state of mind. Correct. And if your state of mind is still about, this is where I have roots in such and such area, and my goal is to then uplift my community, you know, from that area, then you're a machista. Like, if you got that mentality, right? Which means, and you're indígena, and so, and, you know, call yourself what you want, but if that mentality is there, you belong with, you know, we all have that same
runs
goal.
in the blood.
Well, I think that's what I think any American Indian, any Isleta Indian, any other type of Indian, they're Mexican to me. Because Mexican to me, it means a mixture of nationalities. Which, you know, I get people, even as far as El Salvador, Guatemala, they're Mexicans, man.
Well, they're current president.
They're just borders that were put to separate us, and people that wanted to take over these areas and create. Again, it's like gangs right now. Oh, I'm from 13th Street. Oh, I'm from 14th Street. I'm from 15th Street, 16th Street. Like,
you separate the streets.
It separates the streets. Now you have all these streets, and now you have all these gangs.
But they're all Latinos.
But they're all Latinos. We're all the same.
It's all bad. You know, it's better to unite than to separate. So the less distinction you make, the better, because then we all can just like keep that aside. I mean, it's great to have identity. Obviously, identity, it's our roots, right? Right. But when you use it to be divisive, it's all bad.
Well, I think that has been created here in the States to separate and have different opinions and different, because, you know, you got the Democrats, you got the Republicans, you got, you know, who else, you know, and it's like Mexico too. You got the PAN, you got what's the other, the PRI. Now there's now they separated with the Mexican president, the woman. Well, she's badass.
Oh, she's badass.
I keep telling everybody she's bad, and I don't know if you guys knew or not. She lived part of her life in Redwood City. Yeah, I was telling Redwood City. So that's why, like, I was telling my wife today, I was like, you know, I listen to her as she talks, but she don't just talk like a Mexican person that lived in Mexico and stood in Mexico and have the mentality of just being in Mexico.
She actually went to school here, didn't she?
She went to school. She went to school out here. So you figure, she has a mentality of a Mexican person that came here, studied everybody here, took off. Yeah. And probably went somewhere else to study, went back, has that mentality of everybody. Because when she talks very highly, very, very positive, never throwing nothing, no dirt on nobody, trying to be better and badder than nobody.
But she's straight up.
And what was a trip is that today I was listening to Donald Trump. I listened to a lot of his speeches and stuff, you know. I know a lot of people don't like him. I mean, everybody has his own opinion. Whether I care for him or not, I mean, he's here representing the United States for us. Which, you know, sadly kind of sucks, but doesn't, because he talks bullshit, idiotic stuff. But then again, he does
stuff done.
He gets stuff done, but he's putting dumb asses in positions that I think is causing problems with immigration and all that. It's not necessarily himself. He's just trying to be a good president to clean up and be wherever. But one thing I was listening that he talked about, which was a trip, because I had heard the Mexican president talk about it first. She was telling him that she had gotten a call from Donald Trump saying that, hey, you know, how do he goes, how do we get these drugs from coming over here and all these killing all these people? Or like and she's just straight up told him, well, we don't have that problem. Mm-hmm. Our people aren't consuming. They're not consumers. You guys consume.
Yeah.
She goes, our people do not consume, but they're bringing them through here from other countries because for them it's easier to come through here. But she goes, because our families have morals.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, wait a minute. He goes, we have morals too. He goes, yeah, but the problem is that you're not advertising it. We advertise it to our young people. Mm-hmm. This is bad for you. Mm-hmm. And we're showing the worst of the worst commercials to really teach you that, guess what? You're not going to have a hair. Your skin's going to fall off. Your teeth are falling off. Your ear's going to fall off. We're showing these crazy commercials because he was, again, Donald Trump was.
We censor everything too.
Yeah, Donald Trump was talking about, I talked to this lady that, that kind of like, he goes, what do you say? He says, I really don't take advice from anybody, but this woman's very smart, very intelligent. And when I heard her talk and tell me something, I said, hey, that's a great idea. And she told me about the commercials and said, you know what, our country is not a consumer. Your country is a big consumer. You need to teach your young generation not to take these drugs. Mm-hmm. So you have to run. So Donald Trump's putting out, I think, $100 million on commercials to stop the young generation from consuming drugs. And he goes, but then she sent me all these commercials, and I was like, holy shit. Like, this is some crazy-ass commercials, man.
Because they don't censor them.
No,
right?
they don't.
They don't censor shit, and we here, everything gets censored because we might hurt your feelings.
Yep, but Donald Trump don't give a shit.
Oh, Donald Trump.
So he's like, yeah, we need to run them like this. Yeah. We need to run some crazy shit.
Yeah, to scare the shit out of people.
They got to.
Yeah, even soda and candy, first thing you see is like that red stop sign will say, exceso azúcar, exceso grasa.
That was done from the other president.
Yeah.
Because he was like, he was tired of people. He goes, these companies are getting rich.
Right.
And
see, that's the drug in Mexico is Coca-Cola.
The sugar,
Makes you think twice, like, should I drink it?
Well, they're boycotting Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think she's trying to take out Coca-Cola out of Mexico, and they're trying to take out,
it was,
what do you call that?
Oh, the beer. The beer, too, the Corona.
Really?
Corona, because I think it's owned by
Coca-Cola?
I think so. But it's Coke and Corona. I saw it on one of their commercials as well.
Have you seen the commercial where they grab the two Cokes? The little kid stamps. They put the two Cokes on the floor. It's a girl. She stands on it, goes all the way up, and grabs a Pepsi.
Did you see the one with the Lowrider Pepsi truck?
No.
And they start hopping it.
Oh,
they start hopping the Pepsi truck because Pepsi is taking over Coke because people are buying Pepsi. Because they want to boycott.
Well, they need to do it when the car's hopping, it smashes the cans.
Because they said that Coke call immigration on our people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or they didn't do anything to stop immigration from going in.
Exactly.
And so they said, you know what, we're going to boycott
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Starbucks, McDonald's, all those. Yeah, we don't mess with McDonald's anymore. It's just, or Starbucks neither. He's all, I do. He's all,
just wake me up, right?
Just wake me up.
Give me 4 shots.
Right.
Give me 4 shots.
But it was funny because they were saying that the guy from Coca-Cola is like trying to apologize. He went on air. He's trying to like apologize to Mexicans and to the whole immigration thing. But it's too late.
The damage is done.
But like Coke in Mexico is like the Bible. Right?
All over the world.
Like Catholic,
all over the world, not just Mexico. Yeah. I went to Germany, man. I was in Germany for a whole month. Coca-Cola's everywhere. Yeah. McDonald's is everywhere.
But see, like for me here, I don't drink soft drinks anymore.
Right.
But for me, Coke here is way different than Coke over there. And you have to have a Coke from Mexico in a glass bottle.
Real sugar.
Yeah.
It's
real
sugar. It's sugar cane. Here it's that, what do you call it?
Syrup.
But what do you call it?
High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. So it's not real sugar. Over there, it's sugar.
From sugar cane.
And they got that taste. And
especially in the
tacos.
bottle, right?
Oh, you guys had them tacos?
Oh, hell yeah.
I hate you guys.
Dude, these guys
got stomach aches after
Dude, these guys want to eat every 2 hours. I'm like, you're like a baby. You want to eat every 2 hours. I want to eat once a day.
I was walking around that stuff and walk around with the juice. Just, oh, dude, that's good. The tacos aren't, they're no joke. They're
homemade tortillas. I mean, it was.
Oh, yeah, they were.
I mean, you go over there.
Yeah. There was so my wife, her where she's from, it's considered a real dangerous area. I don't want to say her where she's from, but it's funny because we go to this church where her parents go to, and right outside there's a taco stand, and they got the masa there.
Yeah.
Fresh tortillas.
Yeah.
So, oh
The
my
best.
God! You know, you don't. You're like
Just have a tortilla like that
yeah.
with salt and give me a Coke.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Give me a Coke.
It's and then they got tacos a vapor.
Yeah, vapor.
Oh,
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, right there where Ozzy took us, or Milo,
God.
that's his spot.
Yeah.
And they have the tacos al vapor too, but I've never had cabeza. I don't
Tacos de
like them,
cabeza.
but they were al vapor, and
it's sweet.
Oh my God,
That's sweet. It has a
it's tender,
tender
and
and it has
and
a
it tastes
little-
almost like the taste from caldo de res,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. But
that's what it is.
it was delicious, and
Yes,
I would have never, in my wildest dreams,
It's because
Tacos
usually
de
Sounds
cabeza.
gross, right?
no, it sounds good. My dad's had.
Well, I've
them.
seen them make them,
No,
from
yeah, the heads right there, the eyeballs.
and they're yeah,
My
the
dad,
eyeballs looking
my
at you.
dad be eating eyeballs. Oh
Yeah,
my God!
yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
So, but it was the best tacos right there, man.
Right.
It was
So you
good.
guys, have you ever been out there in Tijuana for an event?
We were there for the festival, the Rosarito.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
not a
actual
car
car
event.
show.
Oh no,
Not
no.
a car
Actually, the closest we came was
the day we left,
Cars
the
and
day
Coffee.
went somewhere, and there were some lowrider trucks.
They had
at
a
the
Cars
car
and
club
Coffee.
from Tijuana.
Okay.
Yeah.
they're from Tijuana.
Yeah, they get along. I mean, they go out there a lot. We started going out there when I first started the magazine. We started hitting those spots, going to shows. The ones that were putting the shows together was Victory Outreach at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then everybody just started kind of getting bigger and bigger and started doing their own thing. Because I want to say that during the time I think we started the magazine, Lowrider had sold the magazine because it was kind of like fading.
Yeah.
And people weren't really doing anything anymore, especially here in Northern California.
Yeah.
There was nobody doing a lot of stuff. So that's why we were doing more picnics than anything, because we're kind of like not encouraging them, but we're trying to like make it look like, okay, now we got something going on.
Yeah.
We got this picnic, that picnic. And it was only about 15, 20, 30 cars, but we were making it look big in the magazine. We're trying to like pump it, add life to it. Because the only time we had anything going on was when Lowrider Magazine came at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they only came out and they would only put out like the cars from Northern California.
They come take your money. And go.
Yeah, one issue. That's it. Put the issue out, get everybody, oh, hi, come in, take the money, go see you.
Yeah.
That was it. After that, it's all dry season.
Yeah.
So we all had to think about things to do. So that was the kind of the thing that kind of like, okay, we got to pump life into this, because is it dying out? We don't know. It's just nothing's going on. But the more we got into it, the more we started traveling, doing things, trying to like hopefully stimulate everybody. Everybody started, okay, let's do events. Let's do this. Let's do that, which was kind of a cool thing because we were able to put more things in the magazine,
Yeah.
But right now there's so much going on, way more than before.
Oh yeah,
And,
definitely.
And for some people, it's say, Lowriding's getting, it's growing. It's growing. It is, but I think it's, unless you've been around it, it has never died.
Yeah.
But it dies for those that walk away from it, because you could leave it it's like school, summer school, right? You go to summer school, you miss 1 week, it's like missing a month,
Yeah.
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Right.
And that's how I think lowriding is. You miss a year, it's like you've missed a lot.
A lot.
That's been going on.
True.
Yeah.
But this is cool to see you guys come out and
But-
meeting you when you came out here, man. It was cool to because like I said, I don't really go out there. When I do, nobody really knows who I am, and I keep myself, out of I'll say what's up, hey, what's up, and talk a little bit, and I'll bounce out. And, these guys are always running around. They know these guys more than me. They know Malo. I don't know if you guys know who Malo is. He's always out there and about. He's been with me for 27 years,
Wow.
So Tuleco's been with me for about 24 years. Flavio's been with me for about a week.
Yeah, right.
No, he's been with me for about a year, man. He's the one that wanted to do this. He's the one that actually
That's
put
cool.
me to this,
That's cool.
which is kind of cool.
Great.
I think it's great.
And my main thing was I don't want to do this, but it was more to meet you guys, to meet different clubs, to meet to see what it took
Yeah.
for clubs to do something. I mean, I kind of know myself, but it's always good to hear different
Perspective. from everybody.
perspective. Yeah, of different clubs.
And you get to see what our mission and vision is, right? And if anybody wants to know, well, hey, now they can find out.
Right.
And we're also a nonprofit, which is kind of different too. So
Yeah,
we-
Carmen likes Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Actually, she's not into any brand.
Jose's into Gucci.
I
you guys want to join the club? You guys know what to get.
That's funny.
That's just like
Yeah,
We're
I still
fine
have
with-
my Pele Shuso shoes.
we're fine with some huaraches and a sombrero. So
That's right.
We're cool.
Nah, but I know when it comes to car clubs, I know a lot of car clubs. We're not into fashion.
Yeah.
We're into
Yeah.
the simple. You have a shirt with my car on it. I'm I'm
Yeah.
buying it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
what we all look for, right?
Definitely.
You know, and there's not too many shirts like that. You know?
And for us, I think one of the things I when we started the club was I didn't want this to be just another name for a club, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was I want people to see this as a brand and also to tie it into the community, right? They did that for our community.
Nice.
They did that for this kid. They made a difference because even her as a teacher, she still gets students that are married now that says, you made a difference in my life, right? I coached Little League Baseball when my kids were going to school, and I get kids coming up to, men coming up to me now saying, hey, coach, and I'm like, who the hell are you, right? Because I don't recognize them anymore. I mean, they're huge. They got a family now. But to be able to have that kind of impact on a child, it's very meaningful and it's fulfilling.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah,
all of us, and our young generation is going to have to do the same thing.
Exactly.
That's what we all.
You got to keep it alive
as we get older. Like we were talking about that. You know, I'm a certain age now where those years are gone.
Yeah.
You know, those are wasted years already. I can't go back to any of it.
Especially all that crap we did when we were younger.
Right.
It's like,
you know,
why didn't I think about this before?
I should have done it again and again. And again. But you know, the good thing is, I think the vision I had. I tell you the truth, I never in my wildest life would ever thought to start a magazine, or even be part of anything like this. My main goal was, I was into lowriding. I loved the old cars. I loved driving around. I love finding old parts. I love restoring. I was like a historian for cars, you know.
But check it out now. You got from lowriding,
Right.
changed the culture to the magazine. From the magazine, now you got the podcast.
Right.
And it's changing the way people do business, right? In the lowriding community.
Correct.
Which is I'm glad that we're part of your podcast.
No,
you
for
know,
sure,
so it's a platform for us to get the word for what we do, within our club, but also the name recognition for kids to follow us and say, okay, next year when I graduate, I got to make sure I go apply for a scholarship. You know,
right.
So,
And that's a good thing, man. And one thing I've always learned about lowriders clubs is that we've always been giving, you know, because we've always gotten things taken from us all our lives, and we don't all come from wealthy families.
Correct.
I never did.
That's right.
Our parents worked in the field.
Yeah.
So.
Well, my father was a janitor, you know, and he did his thing, and he worked till he couldn't work no more, and he said, you know, see you, I'm going to Mexico. I'm staying out, and that's where
that's where my dad's at now.
So. He went to Rosarito. He passed away in Rosarito, and that's where he, you know, his legacy was left. You know, but you know, we don't come from these, you know, and that's I want to say 99.9% of these car clubs. You know, when the whole, I don't know if you remember the crisis of the homes and the economics went crashing, the houses went down, and there was other car shows going on at the time. Like these big, even I don't want to name them because I don't want them to feel like, oh, fuck you, you know, talking shit about us. But let's say other type of cars that you could go buy at a car dealership, you know, right? You know, you could buy them and you pay every month and you got a car and you put rims on it and wow, I got a car. And you start these car shows and all these guys start showing up. Well, when the economy went down, they started losing their cars because they had no jobs. The cars got repoed. But we kept doing our own car shows, and our shows kept going strong. And so that circuit tried to jump into our circuit and try to pull our cars in there. Try to, we're going to mix them. Why? You know, don't mix them. Stay with your own type of style of cars. Leave our cars alone. And and my boys were like, you know, why? The shows are still popping. Our shows are still popping, even in this crisis. Because I told my guys, I go, it's because we've always been broke, man. We don't care. But, you know,
we'll find a way to do something.
We'll find a way. You know, if the gas prices go up, guess what? We're still putting $20 in our car. I don't care.
Can I get $1 worth of gas?
I don't care how far we're gonna go. But
at least it takes me one block.
Right.
That's one less block I got to push the car.
Right. So I mean, that to me that's when I seen the difference between what we did and how we stood, and ever since the pandemic, all these prices of cars just went out the roof. And everybody wanted to be a lowrider after that. Everybody was trying to get a car. Everybody wanted that status of owning. You know, like I always told a lot of our guys, I'm like, if you've noticed, whether it's hip hop or an actor or somebody that's trying to be cool, they're going to buy a lowrider. because it's a status of pride of being down, like, oh, I'm a down dude. Look at what I got. Look what I'm driving. Yeah. And not just anybody could drive it. Yeah. Not just anybody could have this, you could be parked with a bunch of Lamborghinis, but you have a 6'4" Impala 3-wheeling. Yeah. Who do you think they're going to look at?
Stand out.
Oh, Lamborghini. Like, look at these plastic cars. Look at this metal car. Yeah. Takes Lamborghini, but that goes to certain people. Yeah. I used to drive my 50 coupe, which I still own, during Christmas at times, and we used to go to the mall, and that was my only car at the time because my 62 at the time broke down. So I'm driving my 50 coupe.
That's his daily driver.
Yeah, and I drive and I park at the mall to go shopping, and we're like, "Are we gonna know where our car is?" I go,
"Really?
All these square cars. They're the only round one." So when we come out of the store, everybody's all around it looking
taking pictures.
And I tell them, I go, look at that. Goddamn thing stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But it was, my daily driver, And that's, like I said, that's how like I was telling my wife the other day, I was, as soon as I get my 39 out of the shop.
You're going to give me the 50.
Yeah. I got a 55. I'm just going to be cruising. Like I said, at 1, 2 in the morning, you're going to hear those pipes going up and down that damn Santa Clara. Yeah. I want nobody around me, man. I'm just going to just cruise by myself.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I think cruising ain't about, I don't know. I don't think it's for a car club. It is like we're gonna get together, put things together. But if you want to be crazy and drive around, with those shoes on and shit, and just without a shirt and just your shorts on, whatever. Just do something crazy on your own. I think that's what separates lowriding from anybody. Because to me, lowriding is about your own style. Mm-hmm. It's about being different. It's about creating, and like our Aztec ancestors did, they dress up whatever they had. Yeah. Transportation. That's they used to dress up their horses. Charros did. That goes back. It goes generations. Now we're dressing up our cars.
Exactly.
With like Sonny Madrid, the ex-founder or creator of Lowrider Magazine. He once told me, he goes, "We're the urban charros. Yeah, we're dressing up our cars. We are those charros." Yeah. He goes, "It's just in a different way." Lowriding didn't start in Mexico, but the style began here in the United States through Mexican blood.
Exactly.
And that's what, because people are like, oh, it started in Mexico. No, or this type of, no, it started here. It started in the States. But, that's just the difference, I think, of culture and difference of how we get together and create, the house. To me, like the whole Aztec house, right? You create a house for everybody to come and that's what you guys have done. You created a club to unite people to come out and be part of you guys, man. And
definitely
bounce ideas from each other for sure.
Definitely.
But that's cool, man, to have that,
And we're doing our show September 28th. And
September 28th, I'll come out.
Guest of honor. You're coming in here to our show. That you're going to be out there. So.
Yeah, not for sure. September 28th. I should be back. Yeah, because usually, like me, I was telling everybody.
I know you go out and take some time off and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm leaving at the end of the June. But yeah, no, I don't definitely. You give me the heads up. I'll definitely make a day because during the weekends I'm busy during the weekends at times. But I'm down to go out there. Like I said,
bring your family.
Yeah, that would be great.
It'd be great if you can bring the wife and kids. But
I'll ask her. I'll see if I can get her. Like I said, I got her a truck. If I could get it painted for her. She'll probably be, I got her a 66 short bed.
Nice.
And I just got the tranny all redone, automatic. So
cool.
It has nice little white walls on it.
She can debut it there.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
She's doing hers.
Yeah, bring me.
You're gonna bring your Lamborghini, right? So.
His Lamborghini
on some spoke wheels.
Yeah. Oh, so if I got crazy money like that, I'd buy a Bugatti. And I'd put 13s, 14s, and lift that thing. I wouldn't care. I'd hop it. $1 million car just for the hell of it.
Exactly.
We only live once.
I'd probably do the same thing. Like not race it, but put some wheels on it.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, right? I'll pull out the motor, put a smaller motor in it.
Instead of getting a ticket for speeding, we're getting a ticket for slow.
This guy's going too slow.
See, all you guys are talking about, that's perfect. I mean, it's art on wheels. I mean, people just create something just from their imagination and they make it work. And that's engineering.
Yes,
That's engineering.
Especially
you
Latinos,
go to school for that.
Right.
We'll create shit out of nothing.
It's beauty.
Hell yeah.
It's beautiful. Imagine we could get all the young kids doing that. They've got a skill and, they stay away from all the other stuff that can cause problems.
Well, I think what even the schools should put something together where because I took mechanic when I was in high school. They had a mechanic class.
Yeah.
And I think they've gotten away with it now. They're not
got
really
rid of a lot of electives. Auto shop. Yes.
Yeah, and that was one good one because I used to sit in that class and people didn't even know how to change a tire. I'm like,
I'll strip this.
The professor was like, "Oh, can you guys?
I'm gonna strip this fucking car in an hour."
Right? They're like, "Hey, can you change a tire?" And everybody's like, what do we do? And I'm over here changing it. I'm already taking all 4 off.
You're like, I'll change the tire and give you a new upholstery.
Oh no, we used to get guys coming in like with bent struts because they got hit.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey, can you fix it?" I'm like, "Yeah, bring it in." We're all there. Just buy the parts. We're taking it apart. Yeah. We'd have fun in those classes. I think they should bring that back. The old school engineering. They don't necessarily need to bring these. Cause I just went to Evergreen College today because they sent me to the to the referee. They have a referee, but they have also an automotive classes out there.
Right.
But they're all Teslas.
Oh, wow.
Electric vehicles.
I said, bro, like, I looked at I was like, so where's the automotive? There? I go, those are huge computers, bro. That's not a car. That's a computer. That's not a car.
Programmer takes that tire.
Right. That's what I was saying. I go, they don't even change the tire. Yeah. You got to call somebody from Tesla will come. I mean, they're making it so easy that, you don't, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the newer cars that are coming out too. They're like vans with no driver.
Yeah.
They'll come pick you up and take you where you need to go. It takes up to 20 people. I mean, have you been
Las combis.
Oh, yeah, combis. Las calafias. Have you been to San Francisco?
With the self-driving vehicles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're all over the place. You're like, what? Did that just drive by with no one in it?
Right.
Yeah.
So we went to Pier 39 a couple months ago, and me and my wife were walking. As we're coming out, we're like looking at people, and people are jumping. No, was it with? Did you go with me? Pier 39?
We saw them there at Pier 39.
we were there at Pier 39, and there were all these white cars with that thing on top.
No, but I forgot who I was walking with. I think it was my wife. I'm not too sure. Don't get mad. I know it wasn't. She's just like, no, it wasn't. I go, yeah, it was.
Like, it better be your wife.
Right. We were walking, and we're getting to the car, and it was a trip because a car rolled up, and a bunch of girls, well, not girls, ladies, jumped out. Oh, my God. They're all taking pictures. Look. And I'm like, who are they taking pictures of? Fuck, they got no driver. As soon as they closed the door, the car took off.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. I'm like, how can you trust a car like that, man?
Well, pretty soon we're going to have the drones. Taxi drones.
Wow. Right.
They already have them. They're in the works.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
I'll be at the car show.
I'll probably put some wheels on that
drone over there.
I'll probably put some wheels on that drone.
See, your car's gonna go.
We're gonna have to weigh it down, bring it down.
Right. Yeah, but it is crazy.
Yeah, life, everything's changing. Yeah, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen in another 40, 50 years?
10 years.
We won't have streets anymore.
Trust me, 10 years. Technology's going.
Well, they're trying to bring the computer robots in.
Yeah.
AI.
My sister today, I can't stand that guy, Elon Musk. I'm like, why? He's trying to bring robots in here. I'm like, who cares? Yeah. All the jobs. I go, first is the immigrants, now it's the robots. I'm like, oh my God, are you tripping? She hates Elon Musk. Yeah. She can't stand Donald Trump neither. She goes, they're taking everything. I'm just gonna move to Mexico. I'm like, okay, sure you are. But
you'll be okay in the burro. So
right. Go, sure you are.
I have a middle child, right, and he's looking for a job right now, and we were talking about that, how everything's computers. I'm like, try to get a job here. Oh, it's not going to exist. There's going to be robots doing it. Try this. There's going to be robots, and I'm like, well, what the hell are we going to do? And he
Who's
goes,
going to run
Mom,
the robots?
We're going to build the robots. And I'm like, oh, okay, get a job building robots.
Right.
Now the robots are building everything else.
Right.
I mean, well, I mean, there's things that but it's funny because my sister she does babysitting. I said, you don't have to worry about a robot. You think somebody's going to trust somebody with a robot? I go, your job's secure, man. Trust me. There ain't nobody going to. I'm going to hire a robot to take care of my one-year-old kid. Sure.
Robots are going to take over the low riding world, right?
Right. I could see that.
Well, maybe they could turn themselves into robots and then and into the cars, right?
Could you imagine
Transformers?
Transformers. That's right.
Low rider Transformers.
No, yeah, but with the robot hitting your own switches on your car, going with his fingers. Like, who's this? It's like Paco. It's like computer Paco.
With the penalty.
Yeah, he's gonna hit the switches. Right.
That's
crazy.
That is crazy.
We're laughing, but watch it
It's
happen.
gonna happen, right?
Right?
No.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no more car shows at all. Everything's gonna be on computer.
Virtual car show.
Yeah. Hey, bro, what are you doing? I don't know.
Hop in my car.
Well, there's a movie. I don't know what was the movie called where everybody had a robot, and you're at home. Like, basically, you lived at home, and you got into this like a bed.
Oh yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
It's like a bed, right?
Yeah.
But the movie starts off with somebody gets killed at a bar.
Yeah.
And they're like and then so the Texans are like studying because they're killing these robots, but they're also killing the person behind the robot because they're doing something to them that causes the guy to die in bed. But when they see each other like hella white, they're in person, like the robots are like all handsome, young and shit. But when you meet the guy,
older.
he's an older guy, but they did a robot when he was young.
Their avatar's younger and shit.
Yeah, it's the Avatar one, like virtual reality type stuff.
But
I don't remember that, but I remember watching
something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I
Was
figured
it Game Over or something like that? Game Over, where everybody's like they're attached to their equipment, but they're in a virtual world that are living great, but in the real world they're not even eating or anything. They're just kind of like sedentary.
I think it could be that. Yeah. But yeah, they're in their own houses, and so these robots, where they're trying to get to the house to disconnect them and to be able to kill that person.
That's a different one, I think.
crazy.
But yeah, okay.
But to me, it's like I tell everybody that why that's going to end up. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's what's going to end up happening to a lot of us. Not to us, but to the
newer
future
generation. Yeah,
they're going to be all robots. Somebody's going to know. Yeah, so
scary.
Because I don't know if you've seen some of these robots on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
They actually look like people. I mean, everything
people.
moves, their skin, everything. They're getting so close to everything that. But I guess China is coming up with it where.
They had the waitresses and shit like that. I seen some of those.
Oh, have you gone to those Japanese places?
Yeah, I haven't gone, but I've seen it online. So.
Oh, so there's a place. Well, there's a couple of places. It's like a dim sum.
Yeah. You
sit down, and then right here they have like this thing going round and round with dishes, with different dishes, right? Mm-hmm. And you sit down and you're punching what you want. You order your drink, and this robot comes, with drinks.
Yeah, yeah.
You just pull your drinks off. That's the only thing they bring you. Or if you order a hot meal, they'll bring you the hot meal. But these plates are rolling. So every plate you eat, you got to push it in through this little, like, I guess, little slot. Every time you put it through a slot, it charges you $5. $5. So every plate's $5.
Wow.
We eat about, it was like $110. It was me and my daughter. We eat about $100 worth of it, but we kept going, oh shit, this is good. Like, we're like halfway through, I go, how much is this going to be? Like, it's right there.
It keeps adding
it's like
it up.
70 something. Like, it keeps adding it up.
Wow.
But it's cool because you're eating, whatever you want to eat. I mean, it's all
so it's like in a curacao.
Japanese food. Yeah, and there's people on one side, other side, on this other side, and there's just two wheels going on. And they keep putting the food, like whatever you're eating, they keep putting it on there.
It's like a buffet kind of
It's a
thing.
buffet that comes to you, right?
Yeah.
Right, but it's called dim sum.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, dim sum is amazing.
Yeah,
I love dim
but it's weird because, like I said, it's just a booth, and it just keeps going around.
Wow.
You just
circles.
pick it as you want.
Yeah, you pick it. Sometimes there's nothing there because you're going, you motherfuckers.
They took it.
They took it. They're eating what I like, But as soon as it reaches
Then you're
the
like,
bird,
it makes the trip all around.
but you keep grabbing.
And then you
it,
see the hand going over it.
No, not that one. But yeah, no, but it's.
Where did you have that at? I
right
go
here
experience that.
Right here in San Jose. I have to get that to you later.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it's hella cool. It's hella cool. You go in there and whatever you eat's what and then they have hot plates that you can order too, and they're they have like the rides with like some kind of Cambodian chicken or Cambodian meat. It's pretty good. That's really good. And then your drinks but the funny thing is the robots, and there's people in the kitchen. They're getting the orders. They're putting the orders on the robots, and the robots they take off. You just see these little robots, little R2D2 little things, man. Yeah,
and they're not crashing anywhere. They're going straight to where
they
they
have
need to go.
sensors.
Like they know where your
straight
table
to
is.
the table
And,
and get and it turns around, open, get your shit. Yeah.
And then dump it in the little slot.
Right.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
pretty dope.
You
You
have to
haven't
check
experienced
that
that yet, huh?
No.
They just started that. I mean, the place I went to was new, but my kids told me they'd been to one before. Because they're like, oh, be careful, Dad.
They're like, what?
Already there. I was already there, man. He goes, yeah, we split. I guess they ate like $300 worth of food because they didn't know. They didn't know. They kept eating. Oh, this shit's hella good.
They got the bills.
What the hell, $300?
Dad, come bail us out.
Yeah. Can you Apple Pay me, Dad?
Yeah.
But you got. I mean, there's so much stuff going on with the technology. It's insane. But
we're gonna have to go check that.
So. Yeah. No, I'll let you know the
cool.
Name. Yeah, and you gotta. I mean, if you go during the weekend, you got the waiting's like sometimes 45 minutes.
Wow.
But it's that good. It's cool, and it's a cool experience. My wife didn't want to go anymore. She goes, no, hell with that. She wants to sit down and get the warm food. Mm-hmm. But she kept seeing that thing going around. But it was cool, though. I thought it was, right. I was dizzy. Let's get out of here. All right.
Cool. All right.
Right. Well, I mean, shoot. Hey, that's what you get with lowriding.
Yeah, exactly, right?
A little bit of everything.
So you guys want to add anything else to you guys' club? I mean, how they can reach you. I know you were saying that, if they see you guys, it's, they can come talk to you guys.
Yeah, we have just our Aztec Legacy Aztec Legacy Car Club at gmail.com is our email. Okay. You can shoot us an email, or you can find us on the web at azteclegacycarclub.com, right, or Instagram at Aztec Legacy.
Right. We also have Facebook still.
Facebook. Okay. Yeah. And then, the prospect, like you said, so there's a prospect time, right?
Yes. And it's usually it's 4 months,
right? That
they do. They have to attend 4 meetings, and hang out with us. And honestly, that time is not necessarily for us to get to know them. Well, it is, right? It is
for them as well.
It's for them to see if this is really what you like. Because again, our environment is family oriented, right, and definitely like to support the shows, the clubs, other clubs, right. But also keeping in mind the vision of community and scholarships.
And no negative people.
No. Definitely no negative people.
Right.
Especially because I'm a granddad.
Right.
Some of them are grandparents and they bring their grandchildren with them.
Right.
And some of them bring their kids who are teenagers.
Right.
So definitely you got to know who you're bringing into this family environment.
Right.
And so even though, like I told one club, I'm not interviewing with you. I'm also interviewing you, just like you think you're interviewing me. Right. I also want to know if I want to be a part of what you got to offer. Right. And what we offer in our club is family environment, fun, and making sure that we don't bring any negativism to our club. Right. And we have a lot of fun every time we go out and every time we get the opportunity to hang out as a big family, and which we do once a month. Because we meet once a month.
So you guys got meetings. Do you guys got dues and all that stuff as well?
Yeah, and 100% of our dues also are part of the scholarships. We don't do anything with the money. 100% goes back up to the community.
So you guys have, like, let's say, come to the car show. Does everybody still have to pay their pay, or you guys pull that from your dues?
No, they
everybody
pays
their
own registrations.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say you guys put a picnic or a gathering together, like for you guys to get to, because I know. An annual. Let's say you get an annual together. You guys want to go to a banquet, do a banquet.
We've had our first and second year Christmas party, and we've paid for the taquero. Okay. We had a taquero guy come out and host, but at the same time, everybody brought something.
It's
just like your family, right?
Like a potluck.
Yeah, everybody, and you don't have to sign up. You just say, "I'm going to bring this." Then you already know that they're going to bring that, so you sign up to do something else.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't have to designate it. It just happens. It's like a big family. Everybody knows what to do.
Well, because I had, there was problems, like when I was in the club at times where the dudes would go to a picnic. Like we're having a picnic, so they would go out and buy the meat, and they'd use it from the dues to make things happen, right?
Yeah.
But then some of those guys couldn't go, so then they're kind of like,
they missed out.
They missed out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then sometimes they would do the same thing with the dues. They would go to a car show, and the money would come out of the dues, and some of the guys couldn't go. So guess what? You're supporting. So when it came to dues times, people start getting kind of like, well, wait a minute, bro. Like I keep giving money, but I don't go to this stuff, because I can't go, or I'm not able to go, and I keep just putting money in. That's why it kind of like it's kind of a great situation with dues and stuff.
Well, we just started this last year and the year before. We started. Well, again, we're new, right? And so we're fairly new, and so we didn't have our budget built up yet.
Right.
And so now there's enough there where we can say, you know what, we can afford to have the club pay for this,
right,
so that we don't have to do it.
Right.
And so, but not necessarily anything that benefits us individually or as a club. Right. It's more
a joint thing.
Yeah, like we're
that's what I'm saying. Like usually, some of the clubs use the money to create their annual thing. Like let's say they're celebrating their first annual. They were getting a band. Yeah. Okay, so it comes out of the dues. We're gonna get the meats and all that stuff, and they say there's not enough. So then they say, okay, guys, can we pitch in a little bit to make it happen or not, or But I think I mean that's a good way of using the money.
I think we're getting there, but the majority. The majority of the stuff is really. I think the biggest thing we've spent money on that we didn't spend it, but we used it and then recouped it, was when we did our first annual car show. And that's when we tapped into it, right? Because we had to get shirts, we had to get plaques, we had to do this. Right. A lot of the stuff was sponsored, right? And so whatever amount we did use, got recouped back from the show and then some. So we, believe it or not, our show, we like I told you, we're professionals, we're business owners. Right. We know a lot of people in the community, so we got a lot of our stuff sponsored. Yeah, which was good.
But in addition to that, when we have our membership meetings once a month, we have a really good turnout. And so whenever we're planning something, we do it way in advance. And we say, okay, when can everybody make it? We want everybody there. Yeah. So look on your calendars right now. So we don't have that situation. So everybody's together. We don't want to leave anyone out. That's what's right. If someone can't make it, we're like, all right, check another date. Let's look and see if we can all coincide, or can you move that so you can make it? All right. And then we come up with a date that fits everybody's calendar. Yeah, at least
98% of everybody shows up, right? Because you're always going to have one or two that for whatever reason can't make it. Yeah. But we're not. Another thing that separates us from everybody else is we always tell people, don't ever not show up to a meeting or a club event because you can't pay your dues. Right. Because $30 is not going to make us or break us. Right. And we're not that strict. If we don't penalize you if you can't make it to a meeting. We don't penalize you if you can't pay the dues. And not everybody has to know that you can't pay your dues. Right. Come and let her know. She's also the part of the treasury. So come let her know, and nobody else needs to know. Right. She knows, and she puts it on the books that so and so owes us so much money. Right. And then you pay whenever you get caught up. Simple. Right. So we're not that harsh. All we ask is that you share the same vision we have. From our vision that we had when we started the club. And if you want to be part of this family, then that's all we ask. And that you respect everybody else. Respect is one thing. Respect the wives, the kids, everything.
Respect and loyalty.
Exactly.
Right.
Loyalty.
And we have members that are young and members that are old, and we have members that are single on both ends, right? And so it's not like only people with families join our club, but it's funny because when they do join and they don't have their own kids, or they, they're already older and their kids are grown up, they say, wow, I was missing this part, this family, because I didn't have that anymore. So this takes that spot, which is really nice. So they feel like they've got that part that they've missed now. That's what's up. It's really good. So it's a little bit of everything.
I think our youngest member is just turned. We were 2 years old. He turned 20.
He just 21. Turned 20. Yeah.
And then our oldest is, I think, like late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
That's what lowrider clubs are, man. It's a mixture of generations and a mixture of cars.
And in between, they bring their kids or their grandkids.
Right.
So they're always welcome. And at our meetings, even though if their spouse doesn't have their car or whatever, they're still equally valued. And so we have, people there that, the man has the car, right? But the spouse will come. And when we're deciding something, they have equal right to speak up and share their point of view. And we listen to everyone equally. So it's really nice. So when you ask, well, how many women do you have in your club? I'm thinking all kinds, right? And he was like 4. I'm like, that have cars.
Members.
Because to me, all those women, all those mujeres that are there and speaking up, they're part of us, And so it was like,
No. I mean, a lot of car clubs, the women are there too. They're part of it.
Oh, yeah.
But to actually have a car themselves, it's kind of a little different because it like I said, for many years, and the woman has always been like an accessory to the guys in the cars, and the girls sometimes just want to stay like that. They're like, they don't want to. I don't want a car. Or they just enjoy myself, be part of the women that just chill, and there's different, like there's different strokes.
Well, you
different
miss
folks,
riding next to your significant other, right? And let me sit in the middle there with you, and you drive, right? And now we're driving our own car, and it's like, hey, I see you over there.
But the good thing is that you guys both, if you don't feel like driving today, let's go in your car.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
oh, yeah.
I don't feel like driving today, let's go in your car.
And we do that occasionally. But you know what? The thing that our members do, or their spouses, they actually want to get a car, right?
They do.
It's like,
Everybody
I can't. Now, when am I going to get my car? We worked on your car. When am I going to get my car?
Oh my God.
So we have the spouses.
Sounds like my daughter right now.
So the spouses are now asking for the cars,
man.
and now the kids are asking for a car.
They've got the little remote ones now.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's a positive thing for the new generation and even the older generation to see that there's a shift, right?
Right.
And at least for Slinas, we encourage that and we promote it, because now it's a family event that you're going to. It's not my dad's event and I don't want to go. Right. It's we're doing this as a family, and we encourage
Well,
that.
I mean, lowriding's fun. It's always been a young generation thing.
Yeah.
It's grown up with us as we get older. We're still wearing tennis shoes. We're still wearing, like we could wear shoes like our grandfathers did and all that, but we're not. At least I'm not hip into wearing tennis shoes. I mean, hip into wearing shoes.
Yeah.
But I think lowriding is fun. I mean, I wish my parents were into it.
I was thinking about that, about what you're saying about the shoes, because the other day I was like, I'm 54 years old, and I'm still dressing the way I did when I met her or when we were younger. Like, I still wear my tennis shoes. I still wear my jeans, my derby jacket or my hoodie. Right. And that's how I used to dress when I was in high school and junior high and elementary.
Right. You know, but that.
Yeah. And I'm comfortable that way. Right. I don't want to get dressed up for sitting at home.
Right.
Wear dress shoes to be at home? No.
Right. Well, I think that whole generation has changed as well. Yeah. As we get older, it's like they say the new 40s is the new 30s or however that goes. The 50s or back on the 40s. Because I mean, before, I know when I was younger, or we were all younger, I'm pretty sure, when we looked at somebody that was in their 50s, like, God, they're old.
Well, I was looking at my parents, my mom the other day in a picture, and she looked old to me. Older than me, of course. Right. And she was only in her early 30s. Right. And I remember when I was 30, I didn't look the way she did.
No, it's because they carry themselves different. Yeah. And I think there's more, how can you say, there was more worry?
Yeah.
Because if you're a worried person, it ages you.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay worrying about things and always stressing and, that's why a lot of the young generation that kind of looks a little different because they're smoking weed. They don't care.
Yeah.
They forget about shit. Rent.
Stress? What are you talking about, stress?
Right? Stress? I don't care. I'll pay it later. Job? I'll get one tomorrow. But I'm just playing.
Yeah.
But that's what I think has changed. I think our parents had to work a little harder. Whether it was in the fields.
And then their thought process was different, too, the way they were brought up.
Yep.
So for them, his priority was food on the table, roof over your head, and a bed to sleep on. And then Sundays was the day you went to church and you visit your relatives,
Right.
And so everything's different. Our generation's obviously different. So
that's for sure.
Especially in the Bay Area, right? I mean,
right.
You gotta have two jobs sometimes. You don't
our
really
kids
see
still
your
live
kids.
at home.
Yeah, you can't buy a house anymore.
A couple of years ago, I think I was in my 20s, going into my 30s, and it's funny because I'd hear people going, "Oh, I'm 50 years old. I still live with my mom." I'm like, "Oh, shit, you live with your mom, with your parents?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I can't afford to move out."
Like,
you can see how expensive the rent is. He goes, "My job can't get me out of where I'm, and then I'm thinking
true and sad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now the kids are like,
reality.
Mom, when are you going to move out? Instead of the kid,
I want your house, Mom.
When are you going to move out?
I bought this goddamn thing. Hey, you got to move. When are you dying? I'm dying about 100 years. I'm going to be the old man walking right by you and your girl farting as I'm walking. So you can smell everything, breathe everything out. No. But it is. It's a different generation, man. Different generation. But the good thing is it's all in our lowriding, man. There is different, different ages and and that's why I kind of created this podcast, because I wanted people that are out there doing this that aren't, because I know there's a lot of people on Instagram and they're all Instagram lowriders, and for the weekend, and that's it. Where a lot of people live this, get into it really hard into it, and you guys dedicating yourselves, putting a car club together. Because, like I said, it takes a lot of dedication and
money.
And money, money's always.
I threw a lot of money into it.
In the beginning, he was going broke, putting in money, but he's like, we all got to look organized. We all got to have,
we got to have the same shoelaces,
everything.
socks.
Gotta look good.
Yeah,
headbands, bro.
Seriously, the first formal we went through, I remember somebody going, "Oh, what shirt are we all going to wear so we could order them now?" And I'm like,
dang.
Okay, all right. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, here we go. But you know what? It looks sharp. And I think like after that, I started noticing more of that going on. Like people started bringing out their jackets again. And now the ladies were getting the jackets too. And I was like, God, it looks so good. Like
you guys got the different rare, as you keep going, you got the Dickies.
You got to have pride in your.
We have the derbies.
The derby.
We have both jackets.
Both jackets. There you go.
And we have them in our the khaki color,
right,
and then in our chocolate color.
Yeah.
So we alternate
swap
both
the colors.
There you go. Shoot. And it's crazy because, I mean, like you said, you're only 2 years old, almost 3 years old,
2.5 years. Yeah.
So now imagine another 20 years on top of that. You're gonna look at this stuff going, "Oh shit, this is vintage." That's what I do with a lot of my stuff.
Believe it or not, I started because as I'm older now, I like to collect a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot of stuff, coins and cards. Right,
a lot of stuff,
and a lot of the
baseball cards and all that,
football, baseball cards,
baseball, and so we.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that. Those are for your guests, right?
Yeah, you see, got my Montana.
There you go.
My Brandon the Ute and my Christian
I have
McCaffrey.
a whole binder for the Niners. I'm not a Niners fan. I'm a Cowboys fan, by the way.
Thank you guys for being on
the show. so we because of stuff that you did and other people have done, and I come here and look up vintage stuff that you have. Vintage meaning way back when you started this stuff, right? So we started a box of putting stuff. This is our first our first that, our first flyer, our first jacket, our first hat, whatever. Right. So we started doing that, and she's like, "What are we doing? It's going to be part of our museum." Eventually,
we need another house.
You need a historian.
Yeah,
we need a historian.
We need another position, so we'll create another historian position.
Yes, historian.
But it's going to be part of our. That's my vision: is to have something where we can showcase it and let the community see it, right? Because, like you can go, you can trace back to the beginning, the root, and say, look, this is our when we founded this and the history and where you've gone.
Right, I need to bring my students here on a field trip.
Yeah. Well, let me fix the other room. The other room, I'm still kind of fixing out. Look
at that. Hey, this looks like my room.
Like, hey, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff. Like I put myself. Like I said, I grew up watching Mexican movies and cartoons and stuff because of my grandfather, my parents, and then from friends of mine that have companies and the events we've done with E40, those Tucanes, and I have other pictures. I need a huge warehouse now.
Right.
This is I condensed myself from a lot of stuff. I got boxes and boxes and boxes and things that are folded here and there, that are part of the whole lowriding movement. From the first Lowrider magazine that came out, which to me was one of the kind of the first best eras. Times of lowriding when that's kind of helped me it kind of like pushed me to a different style of magazine where I kind of wanted to make the magazine look like a yearbook more than just a magazine, something that you could open up and say, look at my full black hair, like look at me like I was 120 back then, so, or look at me, I was like 2 years old. And that's one thing I've tripped out because throughout the years I've sat there and I'm at a stand or something or have a booth and somebody come up to me and go, oh man, I grew up on Streetlow, not Lowrider magazine, Streetlow magazine. Yeah. And I sit there and go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, this is my first book. You guys inspired me to love what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, how old are you, man? Because you're a pretty hairy person, man. You know? It was, I'm only 22. I'm like, oh, shit, I've been around for 27 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, when he could have been 10 years old when he started looking at the magazine, you know. But a lot of people, you know, and I like to hear little stories like that. I've heard people tell me, hey, man, I when I first seen the magazine, it pushed me to really want to get into lowriding because I figured we had nothing here. Yeah. But when I found out you guys were in San Jose, we were like, what? No way. A magazine out of Northern California? Yeah. And we're like the first thing coming out of here in so many years before Lowrider had come out of here in the 70s and then took off to Los Angeles. Yeah. But, you know, and that's what kept us, you know, pumped up. And, you know.
My compa's son, he's like 12. He has an RC, 64. And he kept bugging me for a keychain, right? I want a keychain. I mean, my compa lets him drive his 64 because he has a motorcycle
too. So you guys got an Aztec Legacy keychain?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I gave him the keychain. Right. And the next time he was at a show, he put it on the back as a plaque on his 64.
Car.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up. And he drives it, but my compa's like, compa, when are you going to give me that keychain? You know, my son wants it. I go, I'll get it for you. Don't worry about it. So I eventually gave him a handful of them.
There's a company named Brasco.
Yeah,
I
talked to the guy from Brasco.
You talked to him about?
Yeah,
and he did these for me.
Oh,
those are cool.
You know, and you can make these for the kids' bicycles.
For the bicycles, yeah.
You know, you could also make them like if you want to make a plaque.
Yeah.
So I had a friend of mine. They're starting an actual club because it's about 6 of them guys. They're at a Hollister. And he was like, hey, man, we're going to start this club. I'm like, he goes, I was thinking of having a laser cut. I'm like, He goes, but they're charging us like $330.
Expensive.
And, you know, they're doing this and that. I'm like, well, I go, why don't you call Brasco? Because I'm the one that gave them the idea of these. Yeah. And I'm the one that gave them the ideas of making plaques for us.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the first one was the plaque. When they did the plaque for me, damn, plaque was like this thick, heavy as hell. Yeah. And then I was like, and it was kind of plain, you know. And then he redesigned it for me. And I said, oh, this is dope. I go, can you make it bigger for me? He goes, yeah. So then he did it. So it's kind of like, you know, it's almost like it's like a 3D.
I had chains done for our original members.
From them?
So from the guy that does our plaques. Right. But he cut, he also laser cut the plaques, identical to our car plaques, but they're chains. And so, and they're about... Probably about that big.
How much did he charge you for them?
I think for those initially it was $75, right? And now they're going to charge like $140, $150.
Let me tell you, I had them made out of silver, same company, and he was doing them for at the time for $90. Wow. Then he did a big one, this big for me, heavy,
silver
for $180.
Wow.
Right. So then one of my boys, Paulie, had passed away. One of my guys that passed away, he had one done. And then one of my guys out of Texas, El Paso, Texas, had one done. And he had told me, you should get it done. Because he's the first one that got it done. I go, look how big I got. I'm going, damn. He goes, I paid $180. He goes, get it. I'm like, oh, $180? He goes, dude, it's a good price. I'm telling you. He goes, I had one laser cut. They charged me $180. He goes, this is silver. Excuse me. So I went ahead and got one done. So then my other boy wanted one months later, and when I went to hit him back up, they wanted $600.
Yeah.
He's all, you know, he goes, we were undercutting ourselves, but it comes from Indonesia.
Yeah.
So it's a lot cheaper over there. Yeah. But they went ahead and did it anyways. And I was like, but then he wanted one done. I go, can you make me another one? I go, for $180, and he charged us $180, and they were this tiny.
Oh.
And he was tripping. He goes, this is the $180. I go, fuck, I didn't know, bro. I'm sorry. I ordered one for myself too. So I was kind of upset because I was like, what the hell? But he was like, dude.
That's why I haven't ordered anything from over there.
Yeah.
And then we found a guy that we helped establish his business from Mexico, right? And doing the plaques.
Right.
And he was giving me good pricing. I said, look, this is how much we helped you. Right. You're gonna help us, you know, for the plaques, right? So he gave us good pricing. And then
are you guys' laser cut or they're?
Yeah, they're laser cut. But we get them done in LA from some guy. He's really good. He stays. Prices vary. He just increased the prices though, but this year, but it's still
reasonable compared to what everybody else is charging.
Right.
And so this guy the following year, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do them, but I'm gonna charge you this. If you want it, fine. If you don't, I'm cool. And he like almost tripled the price.
Yeah.
Just like
so
that.
so I'm gonna tell you, go to him.
Yeah.
I know these guys really good.
Yeah.
He's about $180, and it's brass, and
That's
and he
nice.
brings them to you polished like this.
Yeah.
This is how he gives them to you.
That's cool.
Where I know when you get them laser cut,
Yeah.
you got to get them polished, and you got to get them chromed and
Engraved.
Yeah. And if you look at the one behind you, so he did that one. I wasn't really.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
The
that
one with black.
So he did that one really thin.
Yeah.
Because my boy, Malo Tyrone, he was like, we had done the thicker ones, which are not. I like the thicker one. So he goes, oh, I'm gonna have him kind of do the engraving and all that. And then when I got him done thinner, I was like, I don't know, I didn't really like it. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, but it's good, cool for my office.
Yeah.
But for my car, I like the other one. The other one's
thicker
just it's
Yeah.
nice.
Thicker, yeah.
I mean, hold on, let me show you. I got some other things. I got all kinds of car parts. It's like
Little garage there.
if anybody knows what this is.
Air
George-
conditioning.
Yep, George, you ain't getting it. I was selling it to George, but now he ain't getting it. So, this is one of the rings.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I had a ring done too, but doesn't look that detailed.
And he charged us, I want to say $85. No, sorry, $185. $185. That's right. No, go show it to them. And it has the look. Just look at it. And they could do this for you.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I know. I seen the work, and I talked to him.
But you see the side of it.
But the only thing that kept me from doing it just because of the location.
Well, no,
Yeah.
he's good people,
Yeah.
and I know him really good. He came over here. He came out here to
Yeah.
California.
Well, he's a cool guy. Yeah, the details there.
That's nice.
On the side, I put 98 when we started,
Ah.
and then we put the Aztec.
I did the
Yeah,
same
the
thing with
center.
our. See, you always knew you were going to be a part of it. So.
I know, you got the whole Aztec symbol.
The familia and everything.
So that was the cool thing. Yeah, that's them.
That's
Sweet.
cool. Yeah.
It gives you the whole,
Brasco.
and it gives it to you in the little nice little box and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
I'm promoting for you guys, man.
Yeah.
Sweet. So
That's really nice.
So he's doing some rings for me right now too.
See, my next Valentine's
Yeah,
gift.
I know, right?
Yeah. So he can also, instead of being squared, he could cut around.
Yeah. Cool.
The actual.
The actual plaque
Yeah.
or the name. Yeah.
The actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty dope, huh?
That is nice.
Yeah, and it's kind of dirty too. It's kind of.
I don't know when's the last time you ordered a plaque here locally though in the States. It's really gotten ridiculous, right?
It's
No, the last time I did, I got one done. It cost me $360, engraved, polished, and everything. $360. That's what I paid for it.
Dude, I was paying less than $300. We're doing like 280 engraved,
All
engraved and everything. Chrome engraved.
The guys from Arizona did it for us.
And some of them went up to $600.
Yeah.
The guy that
Wow.
I deal with, he's kept it like at 360, 350. around
I'm telling you, those brass ones
no.
will kill those stainless steel ones. I love it comes from that old school.
Yeah,
You
there you
the
go.
old
Yeah,
school
that's
brass.
nice.
The brass,
You know? And I need to polish it. Nah, don't.
looks good.
They're gonna call you right now. Phone's gonna start ringing right now.
What's going on?
El
Get ready.
Padrino, hey, what are you
What's
doing?
going on?
Gilbert, what are you doing?
I know. But yeah, no. I always thought brass is. It just to me it's been more traditional.
Yeah.
And then I mean, show them this. I mean, the detail of this is just insane. To have that in your plaque.
Yeah.
And what's cool about them is that you want them to, hey, can you make it look, and they're good at it. They get down to it, and they'll add some flavor to your thing, man. Where
So you send them the logo and then they add some. Oh wow!
Look at the
Yeah.
color.
You see how it's a 3D?
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So they could do stuff like that for
Got
you.
the serpents and shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
That
it's
looks
really
that's
nice.
awesome.
Yep. You could
See?
you could add.
You knew you were coming.
You could add serpents to the bottom of your thing. You can make it look out of this world, man. Where people will be like, "What the? Where'd you get that?"
That's really nice.
I love that. I love that. That's
Right.
It's beautiful.
legit. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? You know who did that for me? A guy in prison.
Yeah.
Because I used to get a lot of artwork from prison, which I still do. I got like,
Pen pals.
I got like 3 cases of artwork.
Wow.
And there's some right there that I don't know if you've seen that they're right against the wall.
Yeah.
All that went to an art gallery. And the guy goes, "Do you ever sell them?" I go, "I can't sell them. Those were all gifts to us."
And they're unique, right?
Yep.
I mean, there's no duplicates. There's nothing. That's it.
Yep. And I told these guys, I go, "If you guys want us to print them in our book, you guys got to give us the originals.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have the originals, I'm not printing them.
Yeah.
Because I got to make sure we own the artwork before we actually put them out there for you guys."
You don't do like one yearly edition of like a special edition of like where you have just artwork and poetry. Like, remember Teen Angel?
Yeah. Actually, they just did one. They did one in L.A. Teen Angel did. It was Teen Angel and the guys, I want to say from Food's Gone Wild thing.
Really?
No, but I think it was just Teen Angel. They actually put one together. They actually, it was an art gallery, and they put all their artwork, the covers that they did and stuff like that. I mean, I want to do something like that. I want to mix it in with the artists, the photographers, and poetry. I mean, that was my main thing. I used to, if you look at any of our older magazines, I used to put poetry in it. I still do. Because poetry to me was like, I don't know, I mean, during my younger years, when you're all in space, listen to oldies,
That was the corridos right
back then. The music was poetry.
Right. But when you're in those little heydays, like, "Hey, girl, you want to go out? Where are we going to go? Oh, listen to this."
A shout out to Shy Girl.
Yeah, right.
You write her a poem, right? Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, so when I started Streetlow Magazine, that's kind of, I picked from a lot of magazines because a lot of magazines had it, some didn't. And during our time, I think at the time we had Lowrider Magazine, we had Orly's Lowrider Magazine, we had Street Customs, we had Teen Angel was in and out like a different area. You had to go to the Marqueta. They ain't carrying that at 7-Eleven. But and I think there was a one called Vajito that came out, but they used to come out back in the 70s also, and then they came out, I want to say in the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s. They came out with an issue. They did an issue, had a car show, and it went under. Yeah, to me, that was always my fear. Like, fuck, I'm gonna do a car show and I ain't gonna be able to print no more. Wait a minute, what the hell? So I was always careful not to overdo the events I was doing because I always wanted to be able to print. But yeah, there was all these magazines, and that's what kind of like created. Like, man, I got to create something that I like, and if nobody else likes it, well, I don't give a shit. Like kind of. But you have that style that. So that's why I added poetry. I added arte. I put like music. Well, Music to Write To came later on with Pauly. But we put like Tiempos Pasados. We put Mailbox. So you had all the homies from jail. Pay for a pen. So it's kind of cool. Oh my God. The letters I'd get is insane. Like dudes out their shirts, like, "What's up, man? Can I get a girl? Hey, baby." Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is going on here? But it was like that.
You were like the love connection.
Right. And sometimes I would let some go and put them out, and they would send me more and more and more, and artwork. Oh my God, they'd send me so much. Oh, thank you for putting out my art piece, and I was kind of like the bridge between the real world and the world that we're stuck in. But it changed a lot. Like you said, you're out there to change people's lives, and I believe we changed a lot of people's lives because as we continue to publish, and I used to meet a lot of these guys at the car shows, even at the car shows in LA. Oh man, I used to see your stuff all the time, man. Thank you. You kept us alive because in there we don't know what the hell's going on, but we came back out and look what's going on. We got cars. You made us want to stay out. I don't want to go back in. But that's what I think the magazine was. I don't know, like the life of what lowriding is, and and that's what a lot of it. Still, like I said, when it comes to car clubs, when it comes to meetings, when it comes to being together, all this lifestyle, all this styles mix in together, and it's something that we all love.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that you brought up right now, making a difference and all that stuff. We were one of 2 car clubs to make history, and we were one of the 2 car clubs to go and actually do a car show at CTF, so at Department of Corrections, in Saudade Prison. Bro, a totally different experience. And being in Central Yard, and all of a sudden you see all these inmates coming out of nowhere, right? And so you got a little bit of fear, and because you don't know what to expect. But it was to me was one of the awesome experiences I could have ever lived.
Right.
And I would have never in my wildest dreams think I would be standing in Central Yard in Saudade Prison.
Right.
At least
With our cars.
With our cars.
With our cars.
We did a car show for them.
Right on.
Yeah.
And we were one of 2 clubs to be invited to go.
Right.
And it was kind of like the Tigres del Norte going and doing a concert, right?
Right.
So to me, it was like that concert, but in Lowrider.
Right.
You know,
right,
so
right.
it was an awesome experience. And the stories that you hear from, you know, the guys that are in there that have been, some of them were 30, 40 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And some as you know, early as maybe 5 years or whatever.
I know one guy even said, I never come out of my room. Like, I just stay up there. But when he looked out his window and saw the cars coming in, he goes, I came out of my room. He goes, this is like the only thing I came out for. And he goes, it feels good.
Right on,
So it was really nice.
That's what's up. Hell yeah. And who put it together? Who put that?
Prison.
The prison.
They connected with us and the other car club. They invited us. I mean, to get there, I mean, you still have to go through the whole
Lot of
security and all that stuff.
For
And,
sure.
but it was a hassle to get in there, but it was worth the wait and the stuff that you had to go through. I mean, no waxing, you know, your car while it's parked, none of that stuff.
Wow.
All that stuff.
Turning your phones. You can take your cell phones in there.
Oh, you can take it.
No, nothing.
Leave your phones.
They took the pictures and they sent us the
pictures.
Yeah.
Really?
And we also made their magazine for Saudade, you know, their magazine. And then also, I think it was on the Californian and Slinas.
Yeah.
So they're doing that every year or every one? Or it's just something out of the blue?
No, I think they're doing it again this year. Right. And I know one of the ladies that works there mentioned that they were wanting to do it. We actually got invited to Central Valley women's facility.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's like we can't drive our cars over there, like all the way over there. I mean, we don't even drive to San Jose, you know.
Right.
So like, we got to drive all the way unless we trailer them. But not everybody has a trailer, you know. So.
Right.
So I said, you know, unfortunately, we had to pass, and you know, you got to understand these cars are some of them almost 100 years old.
Right.
I mean, our oldest car is in 1934, 1935, and then as new as a 86. You know, but it was a neat experience, and we're definitely. I know that they want us to go back. Right. So we're just waiting on the date for that to happen. So
that's what's up. Hell yeah.
But making a difference for the inmates there.
You guys got pictures of that and all that?
Well, they send us pictures. Yeah.
What they sent us is what we have.
That's but you guys do have pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some pictures.
So I mean, but why they do that? Just to because did you guys speak or what was the?
They wanted to do something different for the inmates as well, just like we're trying to do something different with the community.
But I mean, did you guys standing around them as well, or did you guys talking with them, or
they knew one of the guys from somewhere from.
No, he's talking about the inmates, right?
Yeah, you know, like
so the inmates.
Because you guys went in there, parked your guys' cars.
Well, no, we were congregating with them. Really? We were talking, and they actually parked the car, and they had a 3-foot line tape around their car.
They put like a tape,
and they could not go past that boundary,
unless
you said it was okay, and they couldn't take a picture of the car unless you said it was okay. So they had strict rules. They had one guy with the camera, and you had to turn in a chip.
They were using their tickets. They had
their
photo
tickets
taken with a car.
They had to pay.
So it's almost like a privilege for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, they had to pay for the ticket too?
Well, technically,
I think they earned the ticket somehow
for the pictures.
Yeah.
For the pictures. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
But I think I forget. There was a certain number of tickets for photos. So if you had the tickets, you could take the photos. So some guys were like, "Oh, here's the tickets. Let me take the photo." And
wow.
But it was a neat experience for not just for us, but for them.
Right.
And the conversations they're very respectful. Everybody was very respectful. So were the people that participated. Right. We had trophies. I think she won 4th place or 3rd place.
Oh yeah. Actually they drew. It was something drawn on like a, I don't know, like a pañuelo.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's what's up.
And they drew
that was
like the
4th place.
Yeah, the design for the event, and I'm like, oh cool, I got the artwork. Like,
that's what's up.
And then and all the trophies were made in the prison.
They made them.
The trophies were made there, so they had the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. They were all made there. The wood and iron. One of our guys got 2nd place there as well.
You said wood and iron? Iron as well? They did iron?
Yeah, I think it had metal, right?
Yeah, they were made out of metal.
Yeah, metal and then the wood and stuff.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. And it says CTF and the date and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Neat. It was
but the stories that they shared with you or why they were there, and a lot of these guys that were there were actually getting ready to be paroled, I think, and that's why they wanted to do something for them. As a
you're all there because you're tontos, man. Stay out of trouble, man. That's the number one thing, man. They gotta stay out of trouble. You know
what? That's exactly what some of them said. We did something stupid. I had a guy the guy I was talking to said, I said, why are you in here if you don't mind me asking? right? And he says for attempted murder, kidnapping, brandishing a handgun, and all this. And
they're like, "That's it? You're here?"
Yeah. Right. Well, those are the charges they put on him because he was trying to take somebody's car.
Wow.
And so he had a gun, so it was attempted kidnapping, and they added other charges and stuff. Yeah. But he was getting ready to get out, and he was excited. He was the local. He was from Slinas.
So they jumped on. He fought somebody to give him more 4 years.
I know, right?
Part of the movie. Then,
And some of the guys I know were looking at the artwork on my car, going, "Hey, who did that? Like I do art too." And I'm like, "Well, maybe you could connect when you come out, and get into the business." So it was really neat. I think we learned as much from them as they
exactly.
Like they enjoyed us, but we were just like fascinated.
Oh, I was asking questions. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
What's up? And Soledad.
Yeah,
it's a crazy prison, man.
Yeah.
Soledad, St. Quentin, all the places, man.
Yeah.
And I've seen they've done. I think they've done events in St. Quentin with cars as well, because they've even done videos, like car videos and music videos, and I'm like, how the hell do you get in there? Right. And it's kind of weird that how you're saying it, that they couldn't even get next to you. They check the hell out of you, and they have to ask for permission to take pictures.
Yeah,
that is crazy, man. But
but it was a cool experience for us and for them as well. And we're looking forward to the next one because it was pretty neat, actually.
So I mean, being 2 years, 3 years old, man, you guys experiencing a lot of stuff already.
Yeah.
And then it's cute because they also have the dog trainers there, right? Some of the inmates train dogs, but then they get them adopted, right? These are like,
What the hell? So they got all kinds of things going on.
Yeah, they have their dogs walking around, and we're all like falling for the dogs. Like, should we take it home? Let's adopt them. One of the girls, or one of the ladies in our group, they actually ended up adopting one of the dogs.
Oh, from there?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
So
Louis. His name is Louis. Shout out to Louis.
Louis.
So he's our mascot.
So I think maybe because the prisons have been good, or the people are in there.
Yeah,
that's probably why they give them that opportunity to have a show like that, which is good. It just shows that they're trying to change their lives as well. And, these guys get caught up.
But not only that, I think it's also just like us out here, right? We're trying to change or do something different for the community and stuff like that. I think the new generation that are manning the prison or whatever it is, they're trying to do something different for the inmates. Right. It's not just hardcore, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I think a lot of the programs that they get involved in and getting extra time knocked off for good behavior is kind of like a reward for them, right?
Sure.
And so they decided we're going to do this for the people that are getting ready to get paroled.
Right.
This is kind of like our, you did good, we're going to do this event for you.
Right.
And so it was a reward for them, but not just for them, for us. I think it was huge. It was a huge reward because we all asked questions.
Right.
We all got interviewed by some of the inmates. They brought their camera and their video camera and their microphone, and they wanted to know more about what's going on outside as far as the culture, the cars, and all that stuff. So it was a pretty neat event.
They definitely got a lot of time to spend and figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, when we pushed a lot of magazines into a lot of these prisons, and to me, they were my biggest. How can you say?
Fan base supporter kind of.
Well, no. They're my biggest critics.
To
me, I took their word more than I did on the streets because people on the street like, the hell with them. We don't like them. Where these guys would sit there and they pinpoint everything in that magazine. They had all the time in the world to look at it, read it, and be part of it. And I'd have the pictures I'd get, the artwork. I have one picture where it's funny because it has this homeboy kicking out a Lowrider magazine out of prison with a Streetlow in his back pocket. And it's a little car. I was going to pose.
That is cool.
So I was going to put it up, but I was like, nah, better not, because it's kind of like, But they were like, dude, he goes, you guys bring life to us. This other magazine never doesn't. And I think that's what I feel like, from promoters to magazines to videographers, they don't get it. I feel like some of them don't get it. They just want to get that quick candy look and run with it. Where I think there's more to our culture than.
But I think it goes back to the original conversation, right?
Right.
Corporate, right? And I think if you let that take over, then you're done, right? When it comes to magazine or car shows or whatever, right? So there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it because you need the sponsorship money, you need this, so you need that,
right?
But don't get too much of it where it takes away from your root, right?
Right.
Why you started it. So there's nothing wrong with it. I'll give you an example, and I'm not sure if I don't want to mention any names,
Right.
magazine names, but it's adult magazines, right? An adult magazine that started, with pictures or whatever, and then it became all nothing but commercials on the pages.
Playboy.
I didn't say,
but
Well, how do you know about that?
right?
So Playboy. But I'm gonna tell you, and it's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad,
but add more to it. Add more to it. Yeah. If you're gonna add more advertisement, add more culture to it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you, I ripped like 1998 we started the magazine. 1999 to 2000, I ripped apart a Lowrider magazine. Completely ripped it apart. I took every ad out of the book because everybody kept saying, "Oh, well, Streetlow's hella skinny. It's hella thin." I said, "But I don't have no ads in it.
Yeah.
I have, 7 car shows in it. I have maybe like 9 layouts. I got culture. I got this. I got that. This is what's in the book, and I have 72 pages of it."
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, but it's still too skinny. Yeah, you want like at the time $4.99. $4.99. You're crazy, man." I'm like, well, wait a minute. I took apart a Lowrider magazine, and they must have been like 40 pages. 40 pages. Maybe like I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was like 30. Like 30 pages of supposedly they had 3 layouts, car layouts, and maybe about 4 shows. And it was everything was advertised. Yeah. And I thought to myself, if this is how much advertisement I got, I would have done this much more of our stuff.
Exactly.
Just so they could see, because now
you got an encyclopedia now.
Yeah, because if you have people paying to be an advertisement, well, let's give the people more.
Exactly.
Let's show them more. Let's give them more. Because
otherwise you're just doing this until you get to the picture, right? The show, right?
And a lot of it, again, wasn't, they were only showing what they were showing. They were showing their own shit. They weren't showing car club stuff. Mm-hmm. They weren't going to your picnics or your gatherings or they weren't doing any of that.
They're showing their shows.
That's it. And when they saw us doing our stuff, that's when the Ralph Fuentes, rest in peace, man. He had told me one day, I went to his shop or his brother's shop, Tony's Homies Hydraulics. Shout out to those guys, man. Real good people, man. To this day, real good friends, man. And he told me one day, he goes, the problem that Lowrider Magazine has, and this is like in 2002, 2003, he goes, the problem that Lowrider Magazine got is that they're not like you guys. You guys are culture. You guys are real lowriders. They're not no more. It's a corporate. And they keep fooling the new generation. The new generation keeps falling for their bullshit because they have a logo. That's it. It's just a logo. It's not a company. It's not an organization no more. Right now, to this day, they're freeloaders, man. They're freeloading off us. They're freeloading off our culture. Like they'll come up to you and say, "Hey, I like what you're doing, that event. Can I be part of your event?
We'll throw some money.
And we'll put the logo on it, but we want the door. No, they're not going to throw money at you. They're going to want to take money from you. That's what they're doing to a lot of organizations to this day. And I always talk about it. I always tell people like, you guys don't talk to them. Like, I don't know who they are, and I don't really care to know who they are. But all I know is that they're not Lowrider Magazine. They're not a real lowrider identity. All they're using is our logo. We're the real lowriders. You guys are the real lowriders. You guys are the ones that make our shows and make your shows. We all make our shows.
Yeah.
But if you let corporate come in and take that money and take it, that's what they're doing. They're not putting it back into our,
economy or local.
You
economy.
guys are. Yeah. You guys are doing sponsorships.
Yeah.
I mean, scholarships. Yeah. It's a sponsorship for kids.
Yeah.
That's a kid sponsorship for the streets of our communities. Yeah. They're not doing that. They're just throwing little cheese to everybody, making everybody come, and then see you. Yeah. That's it. I'm going to go golfing, or something else. I'm going to go race cars somewhere. I'm not dumping it. Yeah, I'm not dumping it into this Lamborghinis. We're not dumping it into the lowrider community no more. He ain't going in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where back then, I know Lowrider Magazine did that. When late Albert Lopez was driving in, they would do scholarships and stuff like that. They were dumping money back into the community, and even though he sold it, and I kept saying sold out our cultura, but whatever. But But that's why I don't really, mix with that logo right now. And people are, to me, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but that logo doesn't. It's just a logo.
Yeah,
it's been licensed by an individual that keeps pushing it to other promoters that are real lowriders.
Yeah.
To gain knowledge from them. So it's, how can you say, it's like the what's that bird called? Turns different colors. No.
Chameleon.
Chameleon, not a bird. The lizard.
The chameleon.
Yeah, he's a lizard. One of those chameleons that goes and just changes the same colors, and then takes off. Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. What these guys are doing, and people might say, "Oh, you're just talking shit because your show." No, I just want people to understand. If you're into lowriding and you're a real lowrider, this is what's really happening. And the support should be going toward the real lowriders. People that are putting things together, events, because it's going to mess up everybody else's events because they feel like, oh no, these guys are the ones, and all their money is going to go here when it should go to our community and
local
streets.
events. Yeah. We partnered up with even our business, and we brought our club, and during the holidays we do the toy drive, toy donations, and all that, and we park our cars in front of our office.
Nice.
And we fill up the trunks, and then we drop off toys, and we're a drop off location. Our office is a drop off location for toy drives.
Right.
And so we want to participate. We want to be able to do that kind of stuff.
It wouldn't be something that, check this out. They're talking about toy drives. I've talked to a couple of people, and Crazy George did this one time. This was years ago. I had talked to him about it. But wouldn't it be cool to do toy drives here? And it's load up a truck and take off down south, do a toy drive in Los Angeles, go down to San Diego, do another toy drive, fill that truck up, and cross over the border and give it to the real needy kids.
Exactly.
Because these goddamn needy kids, they're greedy kids. They're not needy kids here. Yeah. These kids here get everything, even the poor kids. Yeah. I don't know how poor here is rich over there. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, because I know, like you said, we lived in this poverty. We were young. Yeah. But reality, I mean, family is what makes us rich. Yep. It ain't really money anymore. It's money. Money. All money does is ruins the people and ruins relationships and ruins families. Yes. But when you're poor, you don't have much, man. The family is what makes you rich and keeps you going. And I'm gonna tell you, being out there for the past 30 something years, because I was out there when I was 19. I mean, the poverty of those kids out there, they will play with little cars with no wheels.
Right.
And I'm talking about the ones you sit in and they push them down the wheel with no wheel. And they're having so much fun. But,
the pedal cars.
You're right. Wheels, pedal cars, no wheel. They're just pushing themselves down the hill. But I'm going to tell you, one year, because my kids are toy destroyers when they were kids.
Did my kids too.
They destroy
put them together in a box.
So there was times they had so many toys that my wife would put them in bags. I'm like, there's a lot of toys. I go, I'm taking these. My kids, they got too many toys. I gave them nice toys too. I took all the toys. I got 2 big fat bags of toys. Went to a neighborhood out in Tijuana. Yeah. It was projects. It was projects. It was apartments. Yeah. So I see a kid riding in a bike. I'm like, hey, come over here. I said, hey, check this out. The kid was kind of like, wait a minute, kidnap me or what? Yeah. Look in the bags, man. And I go, those for you guys. Call your friends or stuff. Right. No. So he ran, he put his bike, he looks in the bag, he looks up at me, and he takes off running to call the rest of his friends.
Nice.
Instead of him going, shit, I'm taking these 2 bags for myself. All the kids ran there and they just started grabbing the toys. But these were used toys. They were
broken
good
toys.
Some broken toys and some good toys. I mix them both because I said if these guys could, they'll make something out of this. Yeah. But to me, it'd be damn badass to go over there, and not even just in the neighborhoods. So they also have what do you call those? Oh my God, where kids live by. Oh my God,
orphanage.
Oh my God,
we did that. That's how we did
orphanages,
and then we took clothes to the people that are drug addicts that are rehab.
Out in Tijuana?
Yeah, and San Luis.
Oh, no, Tijuana. But Tijuana has for the ancianos, the old people. Yeah. Because a lot of those old people are forgotten, too. Yeah. They don't have blankets. They don't have clothes. I mean, to take sweats over there, socks, and blankets, bringing them right into these orphanages and where the old people are at. And I've seen it in my sister-in-law does that every year. She lives out there in Tijuana. So she every year during Christmas, her and my nephews, they go and they donate clothes and they toys for the kids. They'll buy toys for the kids. But to do something like that, I mean, the only bad thing would be trying to cross all that. You know, we'd have to talk to La Aduana, make sure it's cool for us to bring them in there. Maybe even give toys for them and their kids and the cops too, because I know a lot of them people don't get paid a lot of money. So, you know, that's why they're so always trying to take. So instead of trying to take, I'll tell you what, why don't we give you for your family too? I know you guys don't get paid that much. But to go in there and do that, I mean, I don't know. I talked to some of the guys.
I think it's cool.
Here,
I think it's a great idea.
You know, and I talked to some of the clubs here too, and they're like, "Oh, we should do." I don't know. Maybe that's something we should do this year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not all the toys, but at least some toys. Leave some toys here. But I know because sometimes there's some. I've heard organizations here that get so overwhelmed with the toys. They go, "We saw so many toys this year." I'm like,
but you know what we can do is because everybody does. It's a toy drive every weekend, right?
Yes.
In the holidays. But why does it have to be if to do this event, why does it have to wait till the holidays? Why don't we do it during the fall or the summer where we do a toy drive for International Day or International Borders and then donate them during the holidays? Right. But it could call it a special day just to do that. And it doesn't have to be during the holidays.
Well, it only do one. One big one in Northern California. Pick a designated spot every year.
And that's what we do in Salinas now with the Lowrider Council that we got going in Salinas that's what we're trying to prevent, toy drives every weekend. So we do one and all the clubs participate, right?
Right.
And so keep it a little bit more organized and not have overwhelmed with so many toy drives.
Right. Because it's I mean, there was one year when we started our magazine, we put like 7 toy drives. I gave one page to every toy drive. That was only 7. It was way more. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I dedicated a page to everybody. Because at the time, we were just so young with so much energy that I wanted it to make. And there was no Instagram. There was there was none of that.
That was Instagram.
We were Instagram for everybody. So I wanted to make sure everybody got their props pushed out there. And I always thought to myself, you know, back in the day, it was the bikers. A lot of bikers used to do bike runs because of their bad image that they had.
Exactly.
So then we had that bad image too. So we were doing we were doing more than the bikers were doing. And still to this day it has continued.
Correct.
And I think the lowrider community as well as the culture, we're so giving. It's a lot of us were always up to want to help, want to do something, want to do a change. And I think this would be something so perfect I want to try it and even try to get Crazy George involved, because I know he did it one year, and he goes, yeah, you know, one year we did a toy drive in L.A., and we just took everything to Tijuana. And you just see the smile of these kids. We went to, because I know there's neighborhoods where it's all cardboard houses, man.
Yeah.
You know, they have a car, and they have satellite, but they live in a cardboard house. They have all the nice stuff.
And their fence are the tires.
Right. The steps going up, they're all tires going up.
But fill them with sand.
Right. But I mean, that would be something kind of cool. And I think now that we have, you know, YouTube, we could televise it all. So people know, wait a minute, they took I see him at the flea market selling that shit now. Selling all the toys. He has a toy shop over here selling all the toys.
A toy warehouse in L.A.
Right. But to go out there and actually push the toys into the kids. But,
definitely.
You know, maybe we'll get together, you know.
From me and her,
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak on behalf of the club, but just as an individual, we're definitely down.
Yeah.
You know, I know that the rest of the club will probably feel the same way, but whoever can make it. But for us, from our standpoint, we're definitely down. Let us know.
No, it would be cool. It would be cool to, like, again, put it all together.
Yeah.
Get all these toys, put them in it would have to rent like a 18-wheeler or 18-wheeler. I know somebody that owns.
I know a couple. I used to own 5 of them. So
right.
I know a lot of people in Slinas
they have. You know, we could just store them and then, you know, get the money to put the gas in it and just drive them all the way over there and get together with somebody. Maybe on the crossing them, we could get pickup trucks and cross them, because I know people in Tijuana too that are in the car clubs and they do their runs over there. And maybe you guys should
get
go
them
out
involved.
there.
We can get them involved
get
too.
the car clubs over to all take.
Oh yeah, no, they'll love to do it. I know that. There's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've been over there. I used to go over there every weekend, and it kind of I slowed down, but that was like a second home to me too. Being out there, it was fun, because I got to see all these car guys, and it was funny because they would trip off me like, oh, look, this is the guy. They would even think, hey, ask your dad if we could be in the magazine. I'm like, Dad, because I was too young for them. Yeah. Like, well, who owns the magazine? I go, I own it. Like, nah. I go, yeah, we own the magazine. Like, no, hell no. We would thought you were gray hair. I go, no, man, we own the magazine. Like I said, we started when I was 24. So we were young kids running around, and like I said, some people even thought that we were a huge corporation at one time. Like, no, this is it. This is us. All that shit's happening out of here. All that shit's happens out of here. That's man. Cool. It's just the thought of putting something together. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, that would be something cool, man. I think, if people want to get on, drop a DM on us. You guys want to be part of this? I think you are right. We should start like in November, somewhere in November, right? Yeah. So we don't have to store too much of it, and then we'll try to get Chewy, which is he's from Tijuana, to see because he knows a lot of the politics out there and a lot of the government out there. See if he can get the government to let us open up for us to bring some of the toys in. I mean, they could check all the toys, make sure there's no real guns in it or anything like that, or we're taking any top technology over there, right? But just as long as they could check
easier for us,
make
it easy,
and they could come follow us, be part of it,
escort it,
and be part of it to make
give
sure
them props as well,
and give that these toys go into the neighborhoods they want to, and start something there, and then every year it'll be something beautiful, man.
Definitely
be out there and shit.
Well, we're definitely down, so
right on.
Sure. We'll got your back. So
there you go, right on. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys got anything else to say before we call it a night?
I think it was good, and
it's been good.
Yeah, great talking, and hopefully you invite us again. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely.
Thanks for the invite.
No, but
doing right at home.
Yeah. No, like I say, this is something for you guys to express yourselves and what you guys got going on, and and it's a lovely thing to see a younger club come up, and have so much dedication, because there's like I said, there's clubs that come and go, and some clubs are made out of just borracho compadres, and some of them are just made just because they want to hang out once in a while. But it takes definitely a team to create a good car club that's going to last for a long time.
And everybody in our club shares in the tasks that we do.
Right.
Everybody equally, they're on board. We don't have to call anybody. They're like, hey, count me in. So we have a great family. So
no, you guys look like you guys got good heads.
Thank you
on your shoulders, man.
Appreciate
that.
Thank you.
You got the president and then the vice
co-founder,
president number 2.
President number 2. The presidents, the presidenta, and the president.
Ozzy's our current president, but we're definitely the co-founders
and
the creators of the club. But
so you have somebody else that's a president right now?
Yeah. I was the first president when we started the club, and then we let somebody else take over. And we actually re-elected him to take over again because he's done a phenomenal job, and he's kind of like almost the face of the club right now because everybody knows him. He's everywhere, and we got that from him as well, where he supports everybody and talks to everybody, and we definitely encourage that.
Right on.
But we have a great group of people in our club, and so we call each other, our familia. This is our familia.
Cool.
So so welcome to the family.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you guys. Well, like I said, it was lovely having you guys here.
Thank you.
And
looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'll see you guys March 9th, I hope.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we will be there for sure.
I hope. I mean,
without the weather
permitting.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll have.
You have our stack of apps right there. Right?
I do that right here. I got Jason Joshua.
Yeah.
Coming
out. Saw that.
Yeah. So he's good. He gets down.
That's awesome.
You promised us VIP in the back. My fiance's a lot. So make sure you get our bracelets for
if you guys want to go out there and meet him, that's cool. He's a good guy, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good guy.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks for the love.
Right.
All right.
Streetlow. C-Dub on the beat. Streetlow motorcycles and low lows, candy paint dripping, models and ghost foes. Old school bombs, the whips and 6 foes. The show ain't a show if it ain't a Streetlow. Streetlow, dope low lows and 6 foes. Models running around in tight clothes. Girls keep coming by the car loads. Candy paint dripping, riding on ghost foes. Raza pulling up deep in dope line flies. High knots, look at my feet, me que pasa. The smoke man, yeah, that's just me. I rock the concept, the car hoppers hitting the switches on hydraulics. Car clubs bring out the best to get the trophies. The cars looking dope, but the models they looking dope. But Streetlow, it's a party wherever we